Welcome to Quiet Lives. Before we drift into tonight's journey, if you find sanctuary here, please consider subscribing to join our community of rest. I would love to know which corner of the world you are finding peace in tonight, and what hour it is where you are. Feel free to share your story in the comments below. Now, let's begin. The first tendrils of dawn light, soft and pale gold, begin to trace the intricate patterns on your chamber's carved cedar ceiling, rousing you gently from a deep slumber. You feel the subtle shift in the air, a whisper of cool morning breeze drifting in from the open terrace doors, carrying the faint, briny scent of the sea. You stir on the plush mattress, encased in crisp, finely woven Egyptian cotton, that yields with a barely perceptible rustle. The silk duvet, cool against your skin, slides down slightly as you stretch, a slow, deliberate movement that eases the night's stillness from your limbs. You notice the delicate weight of the linen against your bare arm, the way it folds and unfolds with your breath. A soft, rhythmic lapping sound reaches you from beyond the balcony, the constant, ancient voice of the strait. You turn your head slowly on the cool, embroidered pillow, orienting yourself towards the growing brightness. The distant call of a solitary seabird, a low, resonant cry, drifts across the quiet expanse of water, a sound both wild and perfectly at home. With a quiet sigh, you push back the silken duvet, allowing it to pool at the foot of the bed. Your bare feet meet the cool, smooth surface of polished marble that extends from your bedchamber out onto the terrace. Each step is deliberate, a grounding connection to the solid, ancient stone beneath your soles. The marble holds the night's coolness, a refreshing contrast to the warmth of your bed. You step out onto the expansive, sun-drenched terrace, the air immediately softer and warmer against your skin. The vast, shimmering expanse of the Strait of Hormuz stretches before you, a deep, sapphire blue beginning to reflect the rising sun. Far in the distance, a dhow, its single lateen sail a stark white against the horizon, glides almost imperceptibly, a timeless silhouette moving across the water. A quiet attendant, a fleeting presence, places a small, ornate silver tray on a low carved table near your preferred cushioned lounging bench. A delicate porcelain cup, thin and translucent, rests beside a steaming silver pot, the faint aroma of cardamom and green tea rising gently into the morning air. You watch the steam curl, a fleeting ephemeral dance above the cup's rim, before it dissipates into the vast openness of the day. You settle onto the soft cushions of the bench, the woven silk cool beneath your hand. The air around you is still, holding the promise of a warm day, yet the early morning light brings a refreshing clarity to every detail of the distant shore, the gentle undulation of the water, and the quiet ritual of your awakening. The delicate aroma of cardamom, still lingering faintly from the green tea placed moments ago, now mingles with a new, deeper fragrance carried on the gentle morning air. You feel the warmth of the sun beginning to strengthen on your skin as you sit on the cushioned bench, your gaze still tracing the distant dhow on the strait. Your fingers lightly brush the cool, smooth rim of the empty porcelain cup on the silver tray, a subtle metallic gleam catching the growing light. You observe the intricate filigree etched into the tray's edge, a demonstration of the artisan's patient skill, each tiny detail catching and softening the sun's rays. The polished surface reflects a miniature, distorted image of the sky, a fleeting, abstract painting. A quiet, almost imperceptible rustle of fine fabric signals the return of the attendant. They approach with a soft, measured tread across the same cool marble floor you walked across this morning, carrying another, slightly larger silver pot. This pot, heavier and more ornate than the first, emanates a rich, dark warmth, its polished surface reflecting the morning in a deeper, more profound hue. With a gentle, practiced motion, the attendant lifts the pot, holding it steady and true. A dark, fragrant stream, thick and velvety, pours into a fresh, waiting porcelain cup. The liquid makes a soft, almost hushed sound as it fills the cup. A low gurgle that quickly settles into silence as the level rises to just below the rim. A delicate wisp of steam, richer and more robust than the tea, rises from the surface, carrying the deep, complex notes of roasted coffee beans, a bespoke blend prepared just for you. You lift the warm, substantial cup to your lips, feeling the smooth, slightly curved edge press against your skin. The first sip is a revelation of warmth and subtle bitterness, a complex layering of earthy undertones and a faint, sweet finish that lingers on your tongue. The liquid is perfectly hot, yet not scalding, a comforting presence that spreads a gentle warmth through your chest. You hold the cup for a moment longer, allowing the lingering taste to fully unfold, appreciating the exquisite balance of the blend. Your gaze drifts back to the expansive panorama of the strait, now infused with the golden glow of the ascendant sun. The dhow, a little closer now, appears to glide with an effortless grace, its single lateen sail catching the light like a sculpted cloud against the horizon. You observe the subtle shifts in the water's surface, tiny ripples catching the sun's brilliance, creating a mesmerizing, ever-changing pattern of light and shadow. The distant shore, once hazy, now reveals more defined contours, the ancient landscape awakening under the clear, vast sky. You take another slow sip, the warmth of the coffee, a grounding anchor in the vastness of the morning. The quiet rhythm of the waves continues, a constant, soothing pulse against the distant shore, inviting a deep sense of stillness to settle within you. The lingering warmth of the bespoke coffee cup still cradled in your hand, you rise from the cushioned bench on the terrace, feeling the subtle shift in the morning air as the sun climbs higher. The distant dhow, once a single solitary silhouette, is now joined by others, smaller and further out, their sails catching the light in a delicate dance across the sapphire water. You turn from the vast openness of the strait, stepping back into the cool, shadowed interior of your master suite. The polished marble floor, which greeted your feet earlier, feels comfortably familiar beneath your bare soles as you move with a quiet, unhurried grace. The light here is softer, filtered through the thick, carved wooden screens that line the inner walls, creating intricate patterns of light and shadow that shift subtly with the morning sun. A gentle inclination of your head signals your intention, and an attendant, who had been a silent, unobtrusive presence, moves with quiet efficiency. They open a discreet, tall door, crafted from dark, aged cedar, revealing a softly lit, spiraling staircase. The wood of the banister, smooth and cool beneath your fingertips, bears the faint, rich scent of beeswax, and centuries of careful polishing as you ascend. Each step is solid, without creak or complaint, cushioned by the thick, hand-knotted wool runner that muffles any sound. The ascent is gradual, a tranquil journey upwards, away from the main chambers of the estate. The air grows subtly cooler, lighter, as you near the apex. A soft, diffused light begins to filter down from above, a promise of the unique vantage point awaiting you. The sounds of the estate, already muted, fade further, replaced by a profound sense of quietude. You reach the top, stepping into the circular chamber of your private observatory dome. The space is cool and hushed, a sanctuary of contemplation. The dome itself, crafted from segments of polished bronze and intricate, clear glass panes, allows the morning light to flood in, revealing the subtle dust motes dancing in the air, caught in the sun's direct beams. The air within holds a faint, clean scent of polished metal and aged wood, a quiet testament to the dome's purpose. Your eyes are drawn immediately to the central viewing instrument, a magnificent brass telescope, gleaming softly in the morning light. Its weighty, intricate mechanisms hinting at precision and craftsmanship. You approach it slowly, your fingers tracing the cool, smooth surface of the polished brass, feeling the solid, cool metal under your touch. The eyepiece, dark and inviting, waits patiently. With a gentle, practiced hand, you adjust the large, heavy brass knob, feeling the satisfying resistance of the finely tuned gears within as the lens focuses. The distant dhows, previously mere specks on the vast expanse of the strait, now spring into sharp, clear detail. You observe the subtle sway of their wooden hulls, the intricate weave of their sails, the way the sunlight catches the worn texture of the timber. Each vessel glides with a silent, ancient grace, moving purposefully across the water, their timeless journey unfolding before your eyes. The gentle, almost imperceptible hum of the dome's ventilation system is the only sound, a constant, low thrum beneath the profound silence. The cool brass of the telescope, still a memory on your fingertips, recedes as you draw back from the eyepiece, the magnified image of the distant dhows lingering in your mind's eye. You turn from the panoramic view of the strait, beginning your slow descent down the spiraling staircase of the observatory dome. Each step on the thick, woven wool runner is soft, absorbing sound, a quiet progression downwards. The subtle scent of aged cedar and beeswax, from the polished banister you trace with your hand, deepens as you re-enter the main body of the estate. The filtered morning light, softer here than on the terrace or in the dome, guides you through a quiet corridor lined with dark, intricately carved wooden panels. The air is still, carrying a faint, dry aroma of old paper and fine leather, a scent that speaks of quiet contemplation and centuries of knowledge. You arrive at the heavy, arched door of your personal study, its surface a testament to generations of careful tending. A silent attendant, a presence felt more than heard, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold, feeling the familiar solid coolness of the polished dark wood floor beneath your feet, a grounding contrast to the marble of your bedchamber. The study is a sanctuary, bathed in the soft, diffused light filtering through tall, arched windows adorned with finely woven silk screens. The room holds a profound quiet, broken only by the almost imperceptible rustle of the silk as a faint breeze from an inner courtyard stirs it gently. You move towards a large, polished ebony cabinet, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster, the intricate inlay work catching the subtle light. With a deliberate, unhurried motion, your fingers trace the smooth, cool lacquer of the cabinet door, feeling the subtle indentation of the brass clasp. A gentle, almost silent click echoes in the hushed room as the clasp releases, and you slowly swing open the heavy door. The scent of aged wood, mingled with a faint, saline sweetness, reminiscent of the sea, rises gently from within. Rows of velvet-lined compartments, each a perfectly tailored nest for a single, luminous sphere, greet your eye. The velvet, a deep, rich indigo, absorbs the light, making the pearls within appear to glow with an inner luminescence, a soft, ethereal light emanating from their depths. You pause, allowing your gaze to drift over the collection, a silent array of milky whites, soft creams, and rare, subtle pinks, each one holding a unique story, a whisper from the depths of the ocean. You reach out, your fingertips hovering, before settling on a particular pearl, slightly larger than the rest, with a faint, silvery overtone that hints at hidden depths. You lift it carefully from its velvet bed, feeling its surprising weight, cool and smooth against your palm. The surface, impossibly fine, reflects the ambient light in a kaleidoscope of muted, shifting colors. A whisper of rose, a hint of blue, a deep, creamy white at its core. You turn it slowly, feeling its perfect spherical form, a testament to nature's artistry, a quiet treasure from the deep waters of the strait. The cool, smooth weight of the pearl, still resting in your palm, reflects the diffused morning light of your study in a soft, silvery glow, a silent echo of the strait beyond. You turn it once more, feeling its perfect, cool sphere, before gently returning it to its indigo velvet bed within the ebony cabinet. The tiny, almost imperceptible click of the brass clasp as you close the cabinet door settles the quiet air, a soft punctuation mark to the morning's contemplation. You turn from the cabinet, the subtle scent of aged wood and the faint saline sweetness from the pearl collection still lingering in the air around you. Your gaze drifts across the richly appointed study, noting the way the soft light now illuminates the intricate patterns of the Persian rug beneath your feet, its deep crimson and sapphire threads absorbing the sun's gentle warmth. The air remains still, holding the dry, comforting aroma of old leather-bound books and polished wood. You move with an unhurried grace towards a large, heavy writing desk, crafted from a single dark slab of polished rosewood. Its surface, smooth and cool to the touch, gleams with a deep, reflective luster, mirroring the soft light from the silk-screened windows. As you approach, a quiet attendant, a shadow against the sun-drenched wall, places a small, exquisitely crafted silver tea set upon a delicate porcelain tray. A thin, translucent cup, painted with a subtle, stylized floral motif, waits patiently beside a slender silver pot. From the pot, a delicate plume of fragrant steam rises, carrying the sweet, ethereal scent of jasmine. The aroma unfolds slowly in the air, a gentle, floral counterpoint to the deeper, grounding sense of the study. You lift the lid of the pot for a moment, letting the warm, fragrant vapor caress your senses, before replacing it with a soft, almost inaudible clink. With a tranquil sigh, you settle into the high-backed leather chair before the desk, the supple leather yielding gently beneath your weight. The chair creaks softly, a familiar, comforting sound. Your fingers trace the cool, smooth grain of the rosewood desktop, feeling the subtle imperfections that speak of its natural origin and the craftsman's careful hand. The attendant then, with quiet precision, unrolls a scroll of fine, cream-colored parchment before you. The parchment, slightly stiff and cool to the touch, unfurls with a faint, dry rustle, revealing the elegant, hand-scribed script of the day's estate schedule. The ink, a rich, dark sepia, stands out clearly against the smooth, fibrous surface of the paper. You observe the precise lines, the neatly organized columns, and the familiar symbols that denote the various activities planned for your vast coastal estate. You lift the delicate porcelain cup, its warmth spreading gently through your fingers, and bring it to your lips. The first sip of the jasmine tea is light and fragrant, a delicate sweetness that blooms on your tongue, subtly invigorating. As you swallow, the warmth spreads, a calming presence in your chest. Your eyes then drift over the schedule, taking in the day's arrangements, a quiet rhythm of responsibilities unfolding on the page. The faint, sweet perfume of the jasmine tea continues to rise, a tranquil companion to the quiet order of the day. The last faint scent of jasmine tea, a delicate sweetness, fades from your senses as you gently roll the parchment scroll of the estate schedule back into its neat cylinder. The cool, dry rustle of the paper is the only sound in the quiet study, a subtle counterpoint to the profound stillness that settled around you. You place the scroll precisely within its dedicated slot on the rosewood desk, feeling the smooth, polished wood beneath your fingertips. You rise from the high-backed leather chair, the supple material yielding with a soft, almost imperceptible sigh as your weight lifts. The scent of old leather and rich rosewood lingers for a moment before you turn, drawn by a different, fresher aroma. A whisper of cool, earthy green, mingled with a hint of damp stone, seems to beckon from beyond the study's heavy door, a promise of the morning air. Stepping across the dark wood floor, you move towards a side entrance, passing through a softly lit, arched hallway where the air grows noticeably cooler. The transition from the warm, enclosed scent of the study to the outdoor freshness is immediate and invigorating. An attendant, a quiet presence, holds open a heavy, bronze-studded door, revealing a glimpse of vibrant green against the pale morning light. You step out into your private desert botanical garden, feeling the immediate coolness of the air on your skin, a stark contrast to the growing warmth of the sun. The first sensation is the subtle dampness of the air, carrying the unique, clean scent of dew-kissed leaves and cool, damp earth. Your gaze takes in the carefully curated landscape, a verdant oasis carved from the arid land, where exotic desert flora thrives under your careful stewardship. Your bare feet meet the smooth, cool surface of a winding path, paved with flat, gray river stones, worn smooth by time and countless steps. Each stone feels cool and solid underfoot, a grounding connection to the earth. Along the path, water trickles gently from unseen sources, creating a continuous, soft murmur that blends with the distant, muted sound of the strait. You observe the tiny droplets clinging to the edges of succulent leaves, catching the light like miniature, shimmering pearls. You pause beside a towering date palm, its rough textured trunk cool and dry to the touch as you run your hand lightly across its bark. The broad, graceful fronds above rustle with a soft, dry whisper in the gentle breeze, casting intricate, shifting shadows on the path below. A faint, sweet scent of ripe dates, still green on the branches, drifts downwards, a subtle promise of future harvest. Further along, a low, intricately carved stone fountain gurgles softly, its water clear and cool. Catching the morning light in 1,000 tiny glints, you watch as a single iridescent dragonfly hovers momentarily above the surface, its delicate wings a blur of motion, before darting away. The sound of the water, a constant, gentle murmur, seems to deepen the tranquility of the garden, inviting a profound sense of peace. The cool, damp earth underfoot, just beyond the stone path, feels soft and yielding to your step as you wander deeper into the verdant embrace of the garden. The air is still, holding the mingled scents of damp earth and green foliage, a quiet symphony of natural aromas, as the morning sun casts long, gentle shadows across the dew-kissed leaves. The cool, damp earth beneath your feet A lingering memory of the botanical garden's quiet pathways gives way to the smooth, sun-warmed stone of a sheltered arcade. You step from the vibrant green into the dappled shade, feeling the air shift, becoming slightly drier as the morning sun climbs higher. The faint scent of dew-kissed leaves recedes, replaced by a subtle, richer perfume, a hint of something more exotic and contained. You walk with an unhurried pace across the cool, polished flagstones of the arcade, your bare feet making no sound. The light here is filtered, a soft, golden glow cast by the intricate latticework overhead, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow on the ancient stone walls. The distant, muted murmur of the strait is a constant, gentle backdrop to the profound stillness of the estate's inner courtyards. As you approach a tall, arched entryway, a sense of lushness grows, a palpable warmth and humidity in the air. The faint, sweet aroma strengthens, a delicate mingling of earthy richness and 1,000 subtle floral notes. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, stands by the entrance, holding open a heavy door crafted from dark, polished wood, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. You step across the threshold into your indoor orchid conservatory, feeling the immediate embrace of warm, humid air on your skin. The atmosphere is thick, with the sweet, exotic breath of countless blooms, a heady perfume that fills your senses completely. The light here is different, a soft, diffused glow filtering through the high, arched glass roof, creating a luminous, ethereal quality that bathes the entire space in a gentle, verdant light. Your gaze sweeps across the breathtaking display of orchids, arranged on tiered stands of dark, polished mahogany, and suspended from the intricate, wrought-iron framework of the conservatory. Each plant is a masterpiece of nature, its delicate petals unfurling in a myriad of colors, soft creams, deep purples, fiery oranges, and pristine whites. You observe the subtle, velvety texture of a particular crimson bloom, its intricate patterns like a finely drawn painting. A low, gentle hiss fills the air, a soft, continuous whisper that signals the commencement of the morning misting. An attendant moves with quiet precision through the aisles, carrying a finely crafted brass sprayer. A cloud of ultrafine, cool mist, almost invisible to the eye, drifts delicately over the orchids, settling like a gentle morning dew on their broad, waxy leaves and tender petals. You feel the faint, cool touch of the mist on your own skin, a refreshing sensation that heightens the sensory experience. You watch as tiny, shimmering droplets cling to the deep green foliage, catching the diffused light and sparkling like miniature diamonds. The air grows even more fragrant, the moisture awakening the subtle perfumes of the various orchid varieties, releasing their hidden scents into the warm, humid air. The soft, rhythmic hiss of the misting continues, a soothing, almost hypnotic sound that blends seamlessly with the gentle, quiet breathing of the conservatory itself. The subtle, earthy scent of damp soil, warmed by the interior air, rises to meet the fragrant blooms, completing the tranquil symphony of the space. The last delicate wisps of cool mist, still clinging to your skin from the orchid conservatory, slowly dissipate as you step through the heavy, polished wooden door. The rich, sweet perfume of the orchids, though still a memory, begins to recede, replaced by a drier, cooler air that carries a different, more profound scent. You feel the subtle shift in temperature on your skin, a gentle transition from verdant warmth to a more temperate, contained atmosphere. You move with unhurried steps across the cool, smooth flagstones of a narrow, arched passageway. The light here is subdued, filtered through thick, unadorned stone walls, creating a sense of quiet introspection. The faint, rhythmic hiss of the conservatory's misting system, a sound you had become accustomed to, now fades entirely, leaving only the profound stillness of the estate's ancient interiors. The distant, muted murmur of the strait, a constant companion, seems to soften further here, a whisper from afar. As you approach a grand, double-arched entrance, the air grows heavy, with the distinct, comforting aroma of aged paper, leather, and seasoned cedarwood. An attendant, a silent, respectful presence, stands by one of the massive doors, its surface a rich, dark timber adorned with intricate brass hardware. With a gentle, almost imperceptible gesture, the attendant pushes the heavy door inwards, revealing the vast, hushed expanse of your maritime library. You step across the threshold, your bare feet meeting the cool, smooth surface of a deeply polished, dark wood floor. The light within the library is soft and amber-toned, filtering through tall, leaded glass windows that face an inner, shaded courtyard. The shelves, stretching from floor to vaulted ceiling, are crafted from dark, rich mahogany, their surfaces gleaming with a subtle, reflective luster, holding countless volumes bound in leather and linen. The air is still, thick with the scent of old knowledge and the faint, dry tang of distant oceans captured within the pages. Your gaze is drawn to a magnificent, oversized table positioned in the center of the room, crafted from a single, vast slab of polished walnut. Its surface, cool and smooth beneath your fingertips, is covered with several large, rolled scrolls of parchment. You approach the table, feeling the solid, grounding presence of the ancient wood beneath your hand as you lean slightly. With slow, deliberate movements, you reach for one of the parchment scrolls. Your fingers trace the dry, slightly rough texture of the aged paper, feeling the subtle resistance as you carefully unroll it across the vast expanse of the walnut table. A faint, dry rustle, a whisper from centuries past, fills the quiet air as the chart slowly unfurls. The parchment, a soft, faded cream, is covered with intricate, hand-drawn lines, delicate compass roses, and tiny, elegant script marking ancient coastlines and forgotten trade routes of the Strait of Hormuz. You smooth the chart gently with your palm, feeling the delicate fibers of the paper, the almost imperceptible raised texture of the faded ink. Your eyes trace the familiar contours of the coastline, observing the meticulous detail of the soundings and the artistic flourishes of the cartographer. The faintest scent of old ink and salt, a ghost of the sea, rises from the parchment, inviting a deep sense of quiet contemplation. The subtle, rhythmic ticking of a distant grandfather clock, a soft, steady pulse, is the only sound, a gentle reminder of the slow, unhurried passage of time. The subtle, dry scent of ancient parchment still lingers faintly on your fingertips as you gently push back from the polished walnut table in your maritime library. The quiet hum of the estate, a familiar, comforting presence, now seems to carry a new, delicate thread of sound, drawing your attention away from the detailed charts. You feel the cool, smooth wood of the table as your palm rests upon it for a final, fleeting moment. You rise from the comfortable embrace of the library chair, its aged leather sighing softly as your weight lifts. The rich aroma of old books and seasoned cedarwood, which had enveloped you, slowly begins to recede with each step you take across the dark, gleaming floor. You move through a series of arched passageways, where the light shifts from the library's amber glow to a brighter, more open quality. hinting at the expansive sky above. As you approach a wide, sun-drenched archway, the air grows noticeably warmer, carrying a fresh, earthy scent mingled with a delicate floral sweetness. The subtle thread of sound you detected earlier now resolves into a soft, melodic strumming, a gentle, rhythmic plucking that floats on the air. An attendant, a silent, graceful figure, stands at the archway, gesturing gently towards the sunlit space beyond. You step into the central courtyard of your estate, feeling the immediate warmth of the mid-morning sun on your skin. The courtyard is a serene oasis, paved with cool, intricate mosaic tiles that gleam with soft blues and greens under the direct light. A central fountain, carved from white marble, whispers gently its constant, soft splash, a soothing counterpoint to the distant murmur of the strait and the new, unfolding music. The air is thick with the sweet, heady perfume of blooming jasmine and fragrant orange blossoms from the surrounding trellises. Your gaze settles on a small group of musicians, seated quietly on low, richly embroidered cushions in a shaded alcove. Their traditional instruments, an oud with its pear-shaped body, a qanun with its multitude of strings, and a small, intricate darbuka drum, gleam softly in the diffused light. They play with a quiet intensity, their movements fluid and practiced, their gazes serene. You move towards a cushioned divan, arranged with sumptuous silk pillows in shades of deep indigo and gold, positioned perfectly to observe the performance. The silk feels cool and smooth beneath your hand as you settle, the soft cushions conforming to your form with a gentle sigh. The rhythmic plucking of the oud, deep and resonant, mingles with the shimmering cascade of notes from the qanun, weaving a delicate tapestry of sound that fills the courtyard without overwhelming it. The darbuka, played with soft, intricate finger taps, adds a subtle, grounding rhythm, a heartbeat beneath the melody. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the harmonious blend of sounds to wash over you, feeling the gentle vibrations resonate deep within your chest. The warm sun on your face, the sweet scents in the air, and the ancient, unfolding music create a profound sense of peace. You open your eyes, observing the subtle sway of a musician's hand across the strings, a quiet, graceful movement echoing the gentle flow of the music itself. The soft, rhythmic flow of the melodies continues, inviting a deep, unhurried breath as you simply exist within this tranquil moment. The final gentle notes of the oud, a soft, lingering vibration, slowly fade into the sun-warmed air of the courtyard, leaving behind only the quiet whisper of the central fountain. You feel the subtle resonance of the music recede from your chest as you slowly rise from the cushioned divan, the rich silk pillows, settling with a soft, rustling sigh. The sweet, heady perfume of jasmine and orange blossoms, which had enveloped you, begins to soften, carried away on a gentle breeze. You turn from the sunlit courtyard, stepping into a cool, arched passageway, where the light is softer, diffused through ancient stone. The mosaic tiles beneath your bare feet feel pleasantly cool, a grounding contrast to the warmth of the sun. The distant murmur of the strait, a constant, soothing presence, becomes more prominent here, a deep, rhythmic sigh against the shore. The air carries a faint, dry scent of old stone and cool shadow, a refreshing change from the garden's bloom. As you approach a grand, recessed archway, the air thickens with a different kind of aroma, a subtle blend of polished wood, aged metal, and the profound quiet that accompanies historical objects. An attendant, a silent, graceful figure, holds open a heavy, dark cedar door, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. revealing the hushed expanse beyond. You step across the threshold, feeling the familiar coolness of deeply polished dark wood beneath your feet, a continuity of fine craftsmanship throughout the estate. You enter your private gallery, a long, elegant space bathed in a soft, even light filtering from tall, slender windows facing an inner garden. The walls are adorned with carefully hung tapestries and framed calligraphic works, each telling a silent story. The air within is still, holding a profound quietude, broken only by the almost imperceptible rustle of your own movements. The scent of aged wood and a faint metallic tang from ancient artifacts fills the air, lending a sense of timelessness to the space. Your gaze sweeps across the room, settling on a series of newly prepared display pedestals, each crafted from polished ebony and topped with a square of rich, deep crimson velvet. On a nearby side table, several antique Arabian artifacts rest, waiting for their new arrangement. You approach the table slowly, your fingers tracing the cool, smooth grain of the ebony. Feeling its substantial weight, you reach for a small, intricately engraved brass astrolabe, its surface cool and smooth beneath your fingertips, bearing the faint, dry scent of old metal. You turn it gently in your hand, feeling its precise weight, observing the delicate, almost microscopic etchings of stars and constellations. The brass, worn smooth in places by centuries of handling, catches the soft gallery light, revealing a muted, golden sheen. With careful precision, you carry the astrolabe to one of the velvet-topped pedestals, placing it gently in the center. The soft, deep pile of the velvet cushions the artifact, absorbing any sound, allowing it to rest in quiet dignity. Next, you select a small, perfectly preserved ceramic oil lamp, its surface a cool, earthy terracotta, adorned with traces of faded blue glaze. You feel the smooth, slightly coarse texture of the ancient clay, the subtle curve of its handle, imagining the hands that once held it. You arrange it on an adjacent pedestal, ensuring its light-catching curves are oriented just so, allowing the soft gallery illumination to reveal its subtle beauty. A quiet attendant, moving like a shadow, adjusts a nearby spotlight, casting a gentle, focused glow upon the newly placed pieces, highlighting their intricate details. The profound silence of the gallery, punctuated only by the soft click of the light switch, settles around the ancient objects, inviting a deep, unhurried contemplation of their quiet history. The soft, focused glow of the spotlight, still illuminating the newly arranged ceramic lamp and the brass astrolabe, draws your attention to the subtle dust that can gather even in the most protected spaces. You feel the profound stillness of the gallery, a quietude that seems to deepen the sense of history held within its walls. The faint metallic tang of ancient objects, combined with the polished wood, lingers gently in the air. You turn from the newly curated display, moving with a quiet, unhurried grace across the deeply polished, dark wood floor of the gallery. Each step is soft, almost silent, absorbed by the resilient timber beneath your bare feet. The soft, amber light filtering through the tall, leaded glass windows continues to bathe the space in a tranquil glow, highlighting the intricate patterns of the tapestries on the walls. You approach a small, dedicated alcove tucked away in a corner of the gallery, a space designed for the meticulous care of your most treasured instruments. Here, a low, solid workbench crafted from aged cedar stands ready, its surface covered with a thick, plush square of dark velvet. On the bench, an array of fine, soft cloths, delicate brushes, and small, ornate jars of polishing compounds are neatly arranged, gleaming softly in the gentle light. With a deliberate slowness, you reach for one of the softest chamois cloths, Its delicate fibers feel impossibly light and smooth against your fingertips, a whisper of fine material. You unfold it carefully, allowing it to unfurl across the velvet surface, creating a pristine, unblemished space for the delicate work ahead. The cloth makes no sound as it settles, a silent preparation. Your gaze then returns to the astrolabe you placed earlier, now resting on its crimson velvet pedestal. You lift it gently, feeling its familiar, surprising weight, the cool, smooth brass settling into your palm. The intricate etchings of stars and celestial bodies, though beautiful, have a slight, almost imperceptible film, dulling their ancient brilliance. You bring it closer to the workbench, placing it carefully on the prepared chamois cloth. You unscrew the small, heavy lid of a porcelain jar, releasing a faint, sweet, almost citrusy scent of the specialized polishing compound into the quiet air. With a tiny, delicate wooden spatula, you scoop a minuscule amount of the creamy paste, feeling its smooth, slightly oily texture. You apply it with the utmost care to a small section of the astrolabe's surface, a barely visible sheen now coating the brass. Taking another smaller, softer piece of chamois, you begin to rub the paste in slow circular motions. The cloth whispers softly against the metal, a faint, rhythmic shush 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 sound that is almost absorbed by the stillness of the room. You feel the subtle resistance of the paste, the cool metal slowly warming under the gentle friction of your fingers. As you continue, the brass begins to transform, a dull film giving way to a rich, deep luster, catching the soft light with renewed brilliance. Each tiny etched line, each delicate numeral, springs into sharper relief, revealing the timeless craftsmanship with exquisite clarity. The quiet, focused rhythm of the polishing continues, a gentle, repetitive motion that deepens the profound sense of calm in the gallery. The newly polished brass of the astrolabe, gleaming with a deep, renewed luster, reflects the soft gallery light in a subtle dance across its intricate surface. You feel the cool, smooth metal, now free of any film, a testament to the patient ritual of care. The faint, sweet, almost citrusy scent of the polishing compound still lingers on your fingertips, a quiet reminder of the focused work. With deliberate slowness, you lift the astrolabe from its velvet resting place on the workbench. Your fingers cradle its familiar, precise weight, feeling the delicate balance of its ancient mechanics. You carry it carefully back to its designated spot within the display cabinet, gently settling it onto its deep crimson velvet cushion. The soft, deep pile of the fabric receives the artifact with a barely audible sigh, a quiet resting place. You close the heavy, dark cedar door of the display cabinet, the faint, resonant thud echoing softly in the hushed air of the gallery. The subtle aroma of aged wood and old metal, which had enveloped you, now begins to recede as you turn from the quiet contemplation of ancient instruments. The soft amber light from the leaded glass windows continues to cast its tranquil glow, illuminating the detailed patterns of the tapestries on the far wall. You move across the deeply polished dark wood floor, your bare feet making no sound, towards a discreet arched doorway at the far end of the gallery. As you approach, the air shifts, becoming noticeably warmer, carrying a faint, clean scent of sun-warmed stone and a distant whisper of water. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, holds open the door, revealing a sun-drenched passageway beyond. You step into a bright, open corridor, paved with large, pale marble tiles that feel pleasantly warm beneath your feet. The midday sun, now higher in the sky, streams in through a series of open arches, bathing the space in a brilliant, invigorating light. The distant murmur of the strait, a constant rhythmic presence, grows slightly clearer here, mingling with a softer, more intimate sound of gently lapping water. As you near the end of the corridor, the distinct, fresh scent of purified water, almost imperceptible, begins to mingle with the warm air. You emerge into a secluded, open-air pavilion, where the grand infinity pool stretches before you, its surface a shimmering, uninterrupted expanse of sapphire blue. The water appears to merge seamlessly with the distant horizon of the Strait of Hormuz, creating an illusion of boundless, liquid tranquility. Your gaze traces the smooth, clean lines of the pool's edge, where the water gently overflows, creating a continuous, soft, shushing sound as it tumbles into a hidden channel below. You approach a low, cushioned lounge, its dark teak frame warmed by the sun, covered with soft, cream-colored linen. An attendant has placed a freshly folded, exquisitely soft linen towel, thick and cool, on the surface of the cushion, ready for your use. You settle onto the lounge, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, the soft linen cool beneath your touch. Your fingers trace the fine, delicate weave of the towel, its fibers yielding gently. You observe the subtle movement of the pool water, tiny ripples catching the light, reflecting the vast clear sky above. The gentle, rhythmic overflow of the infinity edge continues, a constant, soothing sound, inviting a deep, unhurried breath as you prepare for the embrace of the cool, clear water. The gentle, rhythmic overflow of the infinity pool, a constant shushing sound, still whispers in your ears as you slowly rise from the sun-warmed lounge. The cool, soft linen towel, which had rested on your lap, now lies undisturbed, a quiet invitation to the water. You feel the midday sun, now quite strong, on your skin, a comforting warmth after the morning's activities. You turn from the shimmering expanse of the pool, leaving behind the immediate scent of purified water and sun-warmed stone. Your bare feet meet the smooth, pale marble tiles of the secluded pavilion, each step quiet and deliberate. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, blends seamlessly with a new, subtle thread of sound, a low, steady thrum that seems to emanate from further down the coastline, almost imperceptible yet constant. You move through a series of shaded arcades, where the air grows noticeably cooler, carrying a faint, dry scent of ancient stone and the deep, earthy aroma of distant desert plants. The light here is dappled, filtered through intricate lattice work, casting shifting patterns of light and shadow on the cool, polished flagstones beneath your feet. The estate's profound quietude reasserts itself, allowing the subtle, distant hum to become more distinct. As you walk, the coastline curves gently, revealing a secluded stretch of land where the desert meets the sea. Here, nestled discreetly against the low, rocky cliffs, stands a structure built from pale, sun-bleached stone, designed to blend almost entirely with its surroundings. This is the heart of the estate's self-sufficiency, its private desalination plant, an engineering marvel that quietly transforms the salty sea into the fresh water that sustains your gardens, fountains, and pools. You approach a low, curving wall built from the same pale stone, its surface warmed by the sun, smooth beneath your fingertips. You lean against it, allowing your gaze to sweep across the tranquil expanse of the strait, now a deeper, more brilliant blue under the high sun. The distant hum of the plant, though still gentle, is now a clear, continuous presence, a low, steady drone that speaks of quiet power and precision. It is a sound of immense purpose, yet it never intrudes on the calm. You observe the subtle, almost invisible shimmer of heat rising from the plant's low profile, a testament to its tireless work. The sound itself is a complex blend, a deep, resonant vibration that travels through the earth, a faint, rhythmic thrum-thrum of unseen machinery, and a soft, continuous whoosh of air being moved and filtered. It is a sound that integrates perfectly with the natural landscape, a mechanical heartbeat of the estate, yet profoundly peaceful in its distant constancy. The air around you is clean and dry, carrying the faint, briny scent of the sea, now mixed with a subtle, almost metallic tang from the plant's operations, a testament to its industrious presence. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the gentle, steady hum wash over you, feeling its deep, subtle vibration resonate within the quiet landscape. The unwavering drone of the distant desalination plant continues, a constant, comforting rhythm of resource and tranquility as the midday sun warms your face. The low, steady hum of the distant desalination plant, a constant thrum in the midday air, begins to gently recede as you turn from the sun-warmed stone wall. The faint, metallic tang that accompanied the sound slowly dissipates, replaced by the clean, briny scent of the strait, carried on a soft, dry breeze. You feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, a comforting presence as you begin your journey back towards the heart of the estate. You walk with unhurried steps along a winding, shaded path paved with smooth, pale river stones, each one cool and solid beneath your bare feet. The path leads you away from the rugged coastline, guiding you through carefully cultivated desert gardens, where low, fragrant shrubs release a subtle, earthy perfume into the still air. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, is a constant, soothing backdrop to your quiet progress. As you approach a series of grand, arched entrances, carved from the same pale, sun-bleached stone as the plant, the air grows noticeably cooler, a welcome respite from the midday warmth. The scent of the sea begins to fade, giving way to a profound, clean aroma of cool stone and a faint, sweet, almost floral essence that hints at the interior's grandeur. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, stands by one of the massive archways, its shadowed depths beckoning you inwards. You step across the threshold, feeling the immediate coolness of the air envelop you, a refreshing embrace after the outdoor sun. Your bare feet meet the expansive, deeply polished marble floor of the grand reception hall. The marble, a pristine, almost luminous white, is veined with delicate, intricate patterns of soft gray and faint rose, like ancient maps etched into the earth itself. Each step is soft, almost silent, the marble absorbing any sound, creating a profound sense of quietude in the vast space. Your gaze sweeps across the immense hall, its soaring, vaulted ceiling arching gracefully overhead, supported by massive, fluted columns of the same cool marble. The light here is diffused, filtering gently through high, stained glass windows, casting soft, muted hues onto the polished surfaces below. A deep, resonant silence fills the space, broken only by the almost imperceptible rustle of your own movements and the distant, muted whisper of the strait. You pause, allowing your fingers to trace the cool, smooth surface of a polished marble pilaster, feeling its perfect, unyielding solidity. The marble is cool, almost cold, to the touch, a striking contrast to the warmth of your skin, yet profoundly grounding. You run your palms slowly across its surface, feeling the imperceptible undulations of its natural grain, the subtle coolness radiating upwards into your hand. The light catches tiny, shimmering flecks within the stone, revealing its ancient, crystalline composition. Your eyes drift down to the floor, observing the vast expanse of polished marble, each slab meticulously fitted, reflecting the high ceiling and the filtered light like a still, deep pool. You notice a faint, almost invisible swirl in the stone, a unique fingerprint of nature, catching the light in a delicate, fleeting dance. The cool, enduring presence of the polished marble floor extends outward, inviting a deep, unhurried breath as you stand in the quiet, timeless grandeur of the hall. The cool, polished marble floor of the grand reception hall, a vast, silent expanse, slowly recedes beneath your bare feet as you turn. The profound quiet of the space, a deep, resonant stillness, settles around you, a memory of its monumental grandeur, gradually softening as you move. You move with unhurried grace, your steps soft and deliberate, crossing the threshold into a long, shaded passageway. The air here is immediately cooler, carrying a faint, dry scent of ancient stone, a refreshing contrast to the hall's still, almost perfumed atmosphere. Your bare feet now meet a path of intricately laid mosaic tiles, each small, smooth tessera cool and subtly textured underfoot, guiding you gently forward. Dappled sunlight filters through narrow, arched openings along the passage, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow on the worn stone walls. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, rhythmic sigh, grows a fraction clearer, a constant, ancient voice. The passageway gradually begins a gentle, almost imperceptible incline, leading you steadily upwards, away from the lower levels of the estate. Your steps remain even, cushioned by the solid, unyielding stone beneath a thick, hand-woven runner that muffles all sound, absorbing any echo. As you ascend, the air lightens, feeling less contained, and a sense of growing openness expands around you, a subtle release from the enclosed corridors. The incline is steady, without effort, a gentle lift towards the upper elevations. You emerge from the shaded ascent into an elevated, open-air tea pavilion, a structure of graceful arches and slender columns, crafted from pale, polished teakwood. The wood, smooth and warm beneath your fingertips as you lean against a balustrade, holds the subtle, clean scent of sun-baked timber, a comforting, natural aroma. The pavilion is positioned perfectly, offering a sweeping, panoramic view of the estate's sprawling gardens, and, beyond them, the boundless, shimmering expanse of the Strait of Hormuz, now a brilliant, deep sapphire under the high sun. The air here is alive with a gentle, consistent breeze, a soft whoosh that carries the faint, briny scent of the sea, mingling with a delicate, dry aroma from the distant desert botanical gardens. You observe the subtle, rhythmic sway of the thin, sheer silk curtains, a soft, almost soundless movement at the edges of the open arches, filtering the direct sunlight into a softer, more inviting glow. The distant dhows, which you observed through the telescope earlier, are now mere specks, moving with a silent, timeless grace across the water's surface. You move towards a low, circular table crafted from highly polished, dark rosewood, surrounded by deep, plush cushions covered in finely woven linen, in shades of cream and soft gold. The linen feels cool and smooth as you settle onto a cushion, its generous fill yielding gently beneath your weight, conforming to your form. Your fingers trace the cool, reflective surface of the rosewood table, feeling its intricate, subtle grain, a quiet connection to the craftsmanship. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, places a small, delicate silver tray beside you, holding a thin porcelain cup and a slender silver pot, a wisp of steam rising, carrying the faint, earthy scent of a freshly brewed herbal infusion. You lift the warm, translucent cup, feeling its delicate weight, and take a slow, unhurried sip. The infusion is light, subtly fragrant, a gentle warmth spreading through you, settling your senses. Your gaze drifts to the sky, observing the slow, deliberate arc of the midday sun. It hangs high, a radiant orb, casting long, soft shadows that stretch across the pavilion floor and the sun-drenched gardens below, subtly shifting with each passing moment. The light on the strait is dazzling, reflecting in countless tiny glints on the water's surface, a mesmerizing, ever-changing dance of light and liquid. The subtle warmth of the herbal infusion, a delicate memory on your palate, slowly fades as you set the porcelain cup back onto the polished rosewood table. You feel the gentle breeze, still carrying the faint, briny scent of the strait, caress your skin in the elevated tea pavilion as the sun continues its slow, majestic arc across the sky. You rise from the plush linen cushion, its soft fill yielding with a whisper of displaced air. Your bare feet meet the smooth, sun-warmed teakwood floor of the pavilion, each step quiet and deliberate, a gentle movement away from the tranquil vista. The sheer silk curtains, at the open arches, continue their soft, rhythmic sway, a silent farewell to the sweeping views. You move through a series of shaded, inner walkways, the air growing cooler with each step, carrying the faint, dry scent of ancient stone. The intricate mosaic tiles beneath your feet feel cool and smooth, a grounding presence as you descend a gradual, wide staircase, its polished marble steps absorbing any sound. The distant murmur of the strait, a constant, low sigh, becomes softer, more diffused, a whisper fading into the estate's interior. You approach a heavy, unadorned door, crafted from a single slab of pale, unpolished cedar, its surface dry and subtly textured beneath your fingertips. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, gently pushes the door inwards, revealing the profound quietude of your private meditation chamber. The air within is cool and still, carrying a faint, clean scent of dry earth and sun-warmed stone, a sense of deep calm. You step across the threshold, your bare feet meeting a floor of smooth, cool river stones, meticulously arranged and polished, each one unique in shape and hue. The chamber is sparsely furnished, its walls a soft, earthy plaster, allowing the light, which filters through a high, narrow slit, to cast a single, luminous shaft across the space. On a low, polished stone plinth in the center, a simple, elegant ceramic vase, unglazed and earthy, waits. Beside it, on a woven reed mat, a small collection of freshly cut desert blooms rests, their petals still cool and dewy. You approach the plinth, kneeling gently on the soft reed mat. The stems of the desert blooms, thick and resilient, feel cool and slightly rough between your fingers. You select a single, large bloom, its petals a soft muted ochre, feeling its delicate weight. A faint, earthy fragrance, unique to the desert's resilient flora, rises as you gently trim the stem with a small, sharp bronze knife. The asterisk snicks sound almost imperceptible. You lower the bloom into the cool, clear water within the ceramic vase, hearing a faint, soft plink as the stem touches the bottom. The water, still and clear, shimmers for a moment, then settles. You repeat this slow, deliberate action with another bloom, a smaller one with petals of a deep, subtle crimson, arranging it carefully beside the first, observing the way the colors quietly complement each other. The water in the vase makes a soft, almost imperceptible swish as you adjust the stems, finding their perfect balance. The delicate arrangement, now complete, stands poised in the quiet light, a silent offering of natural beauty. You observe the subtle sway of a single petal, a gentle breath in the profound stillness of the chamber, as the soft light continues to illuminate the cool, earthy tones of the stone. The earthy fragrance of the desert blooms, a delicate memory on your senses, slowly recedes as you rise from the soft reed mat in your private meditation chamber. The cool, smooth river stones beneath your bare feet, which had grounded you in the profound quiet, now feel familiar as you turn from the vase of ochre and crimson. You step from the cool, still air of the chamber into a long, shaded corridor, its walls of pale, unadorned stone, radiating a refreshing coolness. Your steps are soft, almost silent, absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner that stretches along the passage. The profound quietude of the estate's interior envelops you, allowing the faint, distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz to become a subtle, ever-present hum, a deep, ancient sigh carried on the air. The corridor gradually opens onto a sun-drenched pathway, paved with smooth, sun-warmed flagstones that gleam softly under the mid-afternoon light. The clean, dry scent of ancient stone gives way to a faint, briny aroma, carried on a gentle, persistent breeze from the distant sea. The air here is warmer, a comforting embrace after the cool interiors, yet still softened by the coastal winds. The pathway leads you along a low, curving stretch of the coastline, where the sand is a soft, pale gold, undisturbed by footprints. You feel the subtle shift in the ground beneath your bare feet, the firm, warm flagstones transitioning to the finer, slightly yielding grains of sand at the path's edge. The sun, now beginning its slow descent, casts long, gentle shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted shrubs that dot the landscape, their leaves a muted, silvery green. Nestled discreetly amongst a cluster of tall, slender date palms, their fronds rustling with a soft, dry whisper in the breeze, your private beach cabana awaits. It is a structure of simple elegance, crafted from pale, weathered teakwood, its open sides draped with sheer, undyed linen curtains that billow gently inwards, inviting the sea air. The wood of the cabana, sun-bleached and smooth, holds the faint, clean scent of salt and aged timber. You step into the cool, inviting shade of the cabana, feeling the immediate relief from the sun's direct warmth. The soft, billowy linen curtains brush lightly against your bare arms as you pass, a whisper of fine fabric. Inside, a low, wide divan, piled high with plush cushions covered in soft, cream-colored cotton, occupies the central space. The cotton is cool and smooth to the touch, yielding gently as you settle onto the divan, its generous fill conforming to your form. Your gaze drifts outwards, beyond the swaying curtains, to the vast, shimmering expanse of the Strait of Hormuz, now a deeper, richer blue under the softening afternoon light. The rhythmic sigh of the waves, a constant, ancient voice, washes over you, a soothing, hypnotic pulse against the distant shore. High above the shimmering water, the distant, plaintive calls of gulls drift on the wind, a series of soft, resonant cries that seem to hang in the air for a long, unhurried moment before fading into the vast, open sky. The gentle, rhythmic rustle of the linen curtains continues, a quiet counterpoint to the endless, calming sounds of the sea. The distant, plaintive calls of gulls, which had woven themselves into the rhythmic sigh of the waves, slowly recede as you gently push back from the soft, cool cotton of the divan in your private beach cabana. You feel the lingering warmth of the afternoon sun on your skin, a comforting memory as you turn from the shimmering expanse of the strait. Your bare feet leave the soft, sun-warmed sand at the cabana's edge, meeting the firm, cool flagstones of a winding shaded pathway. The sheer linen curtains, still swaying with the gentle sea breeze, brush softly against your arm, a whisper of fine fabric as you pass. The briny scent of the sea, though still present, begins to mingle with the drier, earthier aroma carried from the estate's inner gardens. Your steps are quiet, deliberate, absorbed by the resilient stone beneath you, a gentle movement away from the open beach. The pathway leads you through a series of enclosed arcades, where the air grows noticeably cooler and the light becomes softer, filtered through intricate latticework overhead. The distant murmur of the strait, a constant deep hum, now feels more diffused, a tranquil backdrop to the profound stillness of the estate's interior. You trace the cool, smooth surface of an ancient stone pillar with your fingertips, feeling its solid, unyielding presence, a connection to the long history of this place. The scent of old stone and dry, fragrant herbs from hidden courtyards fills the air around you. You arrive at a heavy, unassuming door crafted from thick, dark cedar, its surface cool and smooth to the touch, bearing the faint, dry scent of seasoned wood. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible thud as it clears its frame and reveals the space beyond. You step across the threshold into your climate-controlled archive, feeling an immediate, subtle shift in the air, a coolness that is distinct from the outdoor warmth, a precisely regulated environment designed for preservation. The light here is soft, indirect, emanating from concealed sources, casting a gentle, even glow over the rows of meticulously organized shelves. The air within the archive holds a profound quiet, broken only by the faint, consistent whir of the distant climate control system, a low, steady sound that ensures the perfect preservation of these treasures. A distinct, dry, earthy aroma of aged paper and rare, preserved leather fills your senses, a scent that speaks of centuries of collected knowledge, a deep, grounding perfume. You move towards a long, polished walnut table, its surface cool and smooth beneath your fingertips, where several cylindrical leather-bound cases rest in orderly rows. You reach for one of the cases, feeling the smooth, slightly textured leather, its surface worn soft by time and careful handling. The subtle click of the brass clasp as you open it echoes softly in the hushed room, a delicate punctuation in the silence. Inside, a tightly rolled scroll of ancient parchment awaits, secured with a thin, woven silk ribbon. You lift it carefully, feeling its surprising lightness, the dry, almost brittle texture of the parchment beneath your fingers. With utmost slowness and precision, you begin to unroll the scroll across the cool, smooth surface of the walnut table, taking care with each movement. A faint, dry rustle, a whisper of ancient voices and forgotten narratives, emanates from the parchment as it reluctantly unfurls. The paper, a delicate, faded cream, is covered with intricate, hand-scribed texts and delicate, faded illustrations, their colors muted by time but still discernible in the soft light. Your fingers trace the almost imperceptible, raised texture of the ink, feeling the subtle irregularities of the ancient fibers, a direct connection to the past. You observe the precise, elegant curves of the script, a testament to the patient artistry of a long-lost scribe. The soft, dry rustle of ancient parchment, a whisper from forgotten narratives, slowly fades as you carefully roll the scroll back into its leather-bound case. The precise, cool air of the climate-controlled archive, a sanctuary of stillness, begins to recede from your senses as you close the heavy lid with a faint, final click. You turn from the polished walnut table, leaving behind the profound quietude and the earthy aroma of aged paper. Your bare feet meet the cool, dark wood floor of the archive, each step soft and deliberate, moving towards the heavy cedar door. An attendant, a silent, respectful presence, opens the door, revealing a long, shaded corridor beyond, where the light is softer, diffused through high, narrow windows. The air here is subtly different, losing the archive's dry precision, gaining a faint hint of warmth and a distant, almost imperceptible, earthy scent. You walk with unhurried grace along the corridor, the cool stone walls radiating a refreshing coolness against the growing midday heat outside. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop. Each step on the smooth, cool flagstones is absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner, creating a profound sense of quietude. The corridor eventually opens onto a wide, sun-drenched pathway, paved with large, irregularly shaped flagstones that feel pleasantly warm beneath your feet. The air here is noticeably warmer, carrying a fresh, dry scent of sun-baked earth and distant, hardy desert flora. You observe the subtle shifts in the light, the sun now high, casting sharp, defined shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted trees that line the path. As you follow the winding path, a new, distinct aroma begins to reach you, carried on the gentle breeze, a rich, earthy scent of warm hay, polished leather, and the unique, comforting presence of horses. The sounds of the estate, generally muted, now include a faint, soft start of hooves on packed earth, a gentle snort, and a rhythmic, almost meditative swish that hints at diligent activity. You approach the stables, a magnificent structure built from pale, sun-bleached stone and dark, aged timber, blending seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. Its high, arched entrances are open, allowing the midday light to stream into the cool, airy interior. The wood of the stable doors, smooth and warm to the touch, holds the faint, sweet scent of cedar and horse. You step across the threshold, feeling the immediate shift in temperature and atmosphere. The air within the stables is warm, dry, and rich, with the comforting aromas of fresh straw, sweet hay, and the deep, musky scent of well-cared-for Arabian horses. The light is softer here, filtered through high, arched windows, casting long, golden shafts onto the polished cobblestone floor and the gleaming wooden stalls. A profound sense of quiet activity fills the space, a gentle hum of contentment. Your gaze sweeps across the rows of stalls, each one meticulously clean, lined with fresh golden straw that crinkles softly underfoot. Several grooms move with quiet, practiced efficiency, their movements fluid and unhurried as they attend to the pedigree Arabian horses. The horses themselves, magnificent creatures with coats of burnished copper, deep black and shimmering white, stand patiently, their heads held high, their dark eyes intelligent and calm. You move slowly down the central aisle, your bare feet making soft, almost inaudible sounds on the smooth cobblestones. You approach a gleaming bay mare, her coat the color of polished mahogany, standing quietly, while a groom meticulously brushes her flank. The soft hiss of the brush against her short, fine hair is a gentle, rhythmic sound, a soothing whisper that speaks of care and attention. You observe the way her muscles ripple subtly beneath her shining coat, with each stroke a testament to her strength and grace. The warm, musky scent of the pedigree Arabian mare, still fresh on your hand from her soft muzzle, slowly begins to recede as you offer a final gentle stroke to her gleaming coat. The rhythmic hiss of the groom's brush, a constant soothing sound, fades behind you as you turn from the sunlit stables, leaving the profound quietude of the horses to their afternoon rest. You step from the warm, dry air of the stable courtyard onto a path paved with large, flat river stones, now slightly cooler as the afternoon sun begins its subtle descent. Your bare feet meet the smooth, worn surfaces, each step soft and deliberate, moving away from the earthy aromas of hay and horse. The light here is a softer, richer gold, filtered through tall, ancient olive trees that line the path, casting long, dancing shadows. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, is a constant, gentle backdrop, blending with the subtle rustle of dry leaves in the afternoon breeze. The path leads you through a series of enclosed, vaulted corridors, where the air grows noticeably cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone and dry, fragrant herbs from hidden inner gardens. The thick walls absorb sound, creating a profound quietude that deepens with each step. You trace the cool, smooth surface of a polished stone archway with your fingertips, feeling its solid, unyielding presence, a connection to the estate's timeless core. You arrive at a heavy, unadorned door, crafted from a single slab of dark, aromatic sandalwood, its surface cool and smooth to the touch. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible creak that settles quickly into the hushed air. You step across the threshold into your private fragrance chamber, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere. A profound stillness and a complex layering of subtle, warm, earthy aromas, unlike any other scent in the estate. The light within the chamber is dim, a soft, diffused glow emanating from concealed amber lamps set into the high, vaulted ceiling, casting a warm, enveloping light. The air is still, thick, with a rich, dry, resinous perfume that seems to hum with ancient stories, a scent, both grounding and ethereal. You move towards a central display table, carved from a single, dark slab of polished obsidian, its surface reflecting the soft light like a still, dark pool. Upon it, an array of small, intricately carved wooden boxes, each inlaid with mother-of-pearl, rests in orderly rows. You approach the table, your fingertips tracing the cool, glassy surface of the obsidian, feeling its dense, smooth solidity. You reach for one of the boxes, its lid crafted from a lighter, fragrant cedar wood, feeling its delicate weight. A soft, almost imperceptible click echoes in the hushed room as you lift the lid, revealing a bed of fine, crimson silk. Nestled within, a collection of small, irregular nuggets of frankincense resin gleam softly, their surfaces a muted, translucent gold. You select a single piece, feeling its cool, hard, slightly sticky texture between your thumb and forefinger. The resin is irregularly shaped, with subtle ridges and facets, each one catching the faint amber light. As you bring it closer, a deep, woody, slightly citrusy aroma, profoundly ancient and calming, rises to meet you. You rub the piece gently between your fingers, feeling the subtle friction, the faint, dry scritch sound almost absorbed by the quiet air, releasing even more of its profound, earthy fragrance. You place the chosen resin onto a small, ornate copper dish, its surface cool and smooth, ready for the evening's quiet contemplation. The subtle, dry scent of the frankincense, now released into the air, begins to mingle with the chamber's existing perfumes, deepening the sense of tranquil anticipation. The rich, ancient scent of frankincense, a profound and grounding perfume, slowly begins to recede from your senses as you gently close the intricate wooden box. The cool, glassy surface of the obsidian table, which had reflected the soft, amber light, now holds a silent impression of the treasures within. You feel the subtle, dry texture of the selected resin, a memory on your fingertips, as the silence of the fragrance chamber settles around you once more. You turn from the dark, polished table, moving with a quiet, unhurried grace across the cool, smooth floor, your bare feet making no sound. The dim, warm light of the chamber begins to soften further as you approach the heavy sandalwood door. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your movement, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible strickery that quickly fades into the hushed air beyond. You step across the threshold into a long, cool corridor, its walls of pale, unadorned stone radiating a refreshing coolness against the waning afternoon warmth outside. Your steps are soft, absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner that stretches along the passage, muffling any sound. The profound quietude of the estate's interior envelops you, allowing the distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, to become a subtle, ever-present hum, a tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The air here carries a faint, clean scent of old stone and dry, fragrant herbs from hidden inner courtyards. As you walk, the corridor gradually begins a gentle descent, leading you deeper into the heart of the estate. The light here is softer still, filtered through high, narrow slits in the stone, casting elongated, shifting patterns of light and shadow on the worn flagstones. The air grows subtly warmer, and a new distinct set of aromas begins to reach you, carried on the air, a complex blend of savory spices, earthy vegetables, and a faint, sweet hint of something baking. These scents promise the quiet, purposeful activity of the evening meal's preparation. The corridor eventually opens onto a wide, arched entrance, crafted from dark, aged cedar wood, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. You step across the threshold into the expansive, hushed space of the main kitchen. The air here is comfortably warm, thick with the rich, layered aromas of simmering broths, freshly ground spices, and the sweet, yeasty scent of rising dough. The light is soft and golden, emanating from concealed brass lanterns that cast a warm, inviting glow over the vast room. Your gaze sweeps across the meticulously organized space, noting the long, polished marble work surfaces, cool and pristine, and the gleaming copper pots hanging in orderly rows from overhead racks. Several cooks and their assistants move with quiet, practiced efficiency, their movements fluid and unhurried as they attend to various tasks. The sounds are gentle, rhythmic, and perfectly harmonious. The soft summon made of a knife on a wooden cutting board, the low, continuous bubbling of a pot on a slow fire, and the occasional, delicate clink of ceramic dishes. You approach a large, central marble island where a cook is meticulously kneading a soft, pale dough. Your eyes follow the rhythmic motion of their hands, pressing, folding, and turning the dough with a practiced, almost hypnotic grace. The dough, yielding and elastic, makes a faint, soft, squish sound with each compression, a quiet, repetitive whisper that speaks of patient craftsmanship. You observe the subtle sheen on the surface of the dough, the way it slowly transforms under the steady pressure, becoming smoother, more uniform. The air around you is rich, with the earthy scent of flour and the delicate yeasty aroma of the developing bread. A nearby assistant is carefully arranging a vibrant array of fresh vegetables on a polished silver platter. The rich, layered aromas of simmering broths and freshly ground spices which had filled the kitchen slowly begin to recede from your senses as you turn from the central marble island. The rhythmic squish of kneading dough, a quiet sound of patient craftsmanship, fades behind you as you move away from the golden light of the bustling space. You step from the comfortably warm kitchen into a long, cool corridor, its walls of pale, unadorned stone radiating a refreshing coolness against the evening air. Your bare feet meet the smooth, cool flagstones, each step soft and deliberate, moving away from the heart of the estate's culinary preparations. The profound quietude of the interior envelops you, allowing the distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, to become a subtle, ever-present hum, a tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The air here carries a faint, clean scent of old stone and a dry, earthy aroma from hidden inner courtyards. The corridor gradually begins a gentle, almost imperceptible ascent, leading you steadily upwards, away from the lower levels of the estate. Your steps remain even, cushioned by the solid, unyielding stone beneath a thick, hand-woven runner that muffles all sound, absorbing any echo. As you ascend, the light softens further, transitioning from the golden glow of early evening to a deeper, more profound twilight, hinting at the vast, open sky above. The air grows subtly cooler, lighter, as you near the apex, a sense of expanding space and quiet anticipation. You emerge from the shaded ascent into an open-air stairwell, its steps leading to the uppermost level of the estate. The sky above is a canvas of deepening indigo, still holding a faint, lingering blush of crimson from the recently set sun. The scent of the desert, dry and cool, mingles with the faint briny aroma of the sea, carried on a gentle, consistent breeze. Your bare feet meet the cool, smooth marble of the steps, each one polished to a faint, reflective sheen, absorbing the last vestiges of daylight. You reach the highest point, stepping onto the expansive, open terrace of your rooftop lounge. The air here is fresh and cool, a profound stillness settling as the last light of day retreats. The lounge is a sanctuary, framed by low, white-plastered walls and comfortable divans piled with plush, charcoal gray, and cream-colored cushions. The fabric is thick, finely woven linen, cool and smooth beneath your fingertips as you approach. You settle onto one of the divans, its generous fill yielding gently beneath your weight, conforming to your form with a soft, almost imperceptible sigh. Your gaze sweeps across the vast, darkening expanse of the Strait of Hormuz, now a deep, inky blue that merges seamlessly with the twilight sky. The distant murmur of the waves, a constant rhythmic pulse, is clearer here, a soft shoo against the quiet of the evening. As you watch, a faint, ethereal glow begins to emerge on the distant horizon, a subtle luminescence against the deepening indigo. Slowly, majestically, the moon begins its ascent, a perfect, luminous orb of pale silver, rising with an unhurried grace above the still waters of the strait. Its light, soft and cool, spreads across the water, creating a shimmering path of silver that stretches towards you, a silent invitation across the dark expanse. The air around you is still, holding the cool, dry scent of night-blooming jasmine from a nearby planter, mingling with the faint, briny whisper of the sea. You close your eyes for a moment, feeling the cool, gentle breeze on your face, the soft, rhythmic sound of the distant waves, and the profound, peaceful presence of the rising moon. The subtle coolness of the linen cushions beneath you, and the vast, silent canvas of the night sky above, invite a deep, unhurried breath as you simply exist within this tranquil moment. The cool, gentle breeze, which had caressed your face as the moon ascended over the strait, now feels like a final, tender touch on your skin. You slowly rise from the deep, charcoal gray cushions of the divan on your rooftop lounge, the fine linen yielding with a soft, settling sigh as your weight lifts. The vast, silent canvas of the night sky, still illuminated by the serene silver glow of the moon, begins to recede from your immediate view. You turn from the open expanse, stepping away from the cool night air, into a softly lit, enclosed stairwell. Your bare feet meet the smooth, cool marble of the steps, each one polished to a faint, reflective sheen, absorbing the last vestiges of twilight. Your descent is gradual, unhurried, each step soft and deliberate, a gentle movement downwards into the heart of the estate. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, grows subtly more diffused, a whisper fading into the thick walls around you. The air here carries a faint, clean scent of old stone, mingled with a delicate, dry aroma from the estate's interior courtyards. The stairwell leads you into a long, arched corridor, its walls of pale, unadorned stone radiating a profound coolness. The light is dim, cast by concealed, flickering oil lamps set into niches, creating soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract with each subtle movement of the flame. Your bare feet move across the cool, smooth flagstones, each one worn by centuries of passage, a grounding connection to the estate's enduring history. As you walk, the air begins to shift, growing subtly warmer, carrying a new, intriguing scent, a delicate blend of warm stone, a hint of damp earth, and a faint, sweet essence of aromatic herbs. This subtle transformation in the atmosphere signals your approach. You arrive at a heavy, intricately carved wooden door, its surface a deep, lustrous cedar, cool and smooth beneath your fingertips. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible creak that quickly settles into the hushed air. You step across the threshold into the antechamber of your private hammam, feeling an immediate, profound embrace of warmth and humidity. The light here is soft, diffused, emanating from small, star-shaped apertures in the domed ceiling, casting a celestial glow. The air is thick, enveloping, carrying a rich, earthy aroma of damp, heated stone, mingled with the invigorating, sweet scent of eucalyptus and rosewater. You pause, allowing your senses to adjust, feeling the warmth penetrate your skin, easing any lingering tension from the day. Your bare feet meet the smooth, heated marble floor of the antechamber, its surface radiating a gentle, comforting warmth that spreads upwards through your soles. The distant murmur of the strait is entirely absent here, replaced by the soft, almost imperceptible sound of water trickling from a small, ornate brass spigot into a shallow marble basin, a continuous, soothing whisper. You move further into the main chamber of the hammam, where the air is even warmer, heavier with steam that swirls and dances in the soft, diffused light. The walls, floor, and low sculpted benches are all crafted from a single, seamless expanse of polished marble, a pristine, luminous white veined with delicate, intricate patterns of soft gray. The marble is warm, profoundly so, yet never scalding, a comforting, enveloping heat that draws you deeper into its embrace. You observe the subtle sheen on the damp marble surfaces, reflecting the overhead light in a soft, ethereal glow. You settle onto a wide, low marble slab, specifically designed for repose. The smooth, solid stone cradles your form, its deep, consistent warmth radiating upwards into your muscles, slowly softening any remaining tightness. You feel the subtle moisture in the air, tiny droplets clinging to your skin, a delicate, refreshing touch. The profound warmth of the hammam, which had enveloped you in its eucalyptus-scented steam and soothing humidity, now slowly begins to recede as you rise from the smooth, heated marble slab. The rhythmic drip-drip-drip of condensation, a hypnotic cadence, fades into a gentle memory, leaving behind a deep sense of release and effortless relaxation. A silent attendant, a graceful presence, offers a large, thick linen towel, cool and dry against your skin, as you step from the main chamber into the antechamber. You wrap yourself in its soft embrace, feeling its delicate fibers absorb the last vestiges of moisture, a gentle friction that invigorates your skin. The air here is still warm but drier, carrying the lingering, sweet scent of rosewater and a hint of warm stone. Your bare feet meet the cool, polished marble of the antechamber floor, a grounding contrast to the deep heat of moments before. You move through a series of shaded, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone and dry, fragrant herbs. Your steps are soft, almost silent, absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runners that stretch along the passages. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, grows subtly clearer with each step, a constant, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The flickering light from concealed oil lamps, set into niches, casts soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract on the worn stone walls, creating a sense of tranquil movement. The corridors eventually lead you to a grand, open-air terrace, high above the estate's lower levels, where the cool, dry, evening air greets your skin. The sky above is a vast canvas of deep indigo, illuminated by the serene, silver glow of the ascended moon, which casts long, soft shadows across the expansive space. A faint, sweet perfume, different from the hammam's aromas, drifts on a gentle, consistent breeze. The delicate scent of night-blooming jasmine and honeysuckle, a promise of the gardens below. You approach the edge of the terrace, a low balustrade carved from pale, polished limestone. Its surface is cool and smooth beneath your fingertips as you lean slightly, allowing your gaze to sweep downwards. Below, the estate's terraced gardens unfold in a breathtaking display, illuminated by the soft, warm glow of countless lanterns. Each terrace, meticulously sculpted into the natural incline of the land, reveals a new layer of verdant beauty softened and made ethereal by the evening light. The lanterns, crafted from intricate wrought iron and delicate frosted glass, are strategically placed along the winding pathways, within the foliage and beside the tranquil water features. Their soft amber light, a warm, inviting hue, casts long, dancing shadows from the broad leaves of date palms and the delicate branches of citrus trees. You observe the gentle, rhythmic flicker of a flame within a particularly ornate brass lantern, its light catching the tiny dust motes in the still air, creating a miniature, ethereal dance. The brass, cool and smooth to the touch, holds the faint, clean scent of polished metal. A soft, almost imperceptible tinkle of water reaches you from a lower terrace, where a hidden fountain whispers gently, its continuous murmur blending seamlessly with the distant, rhythmic sigh of the Strait of Hormuz. You notice the subtle play of light on the dark, waxy leaves of a citrus tree, each leaf catching a tiny glint from a nearby lantern, creating a shimmering, almost liquid effect. The air around you is cool and dry, carrying the rich, sweet perfume of the night-blooming flowers, a deeper, more profound aroma than in the afternoon. The gentle glow of the lanterns below, scattered like fallen stars across the terraced gardens, creates a sense of tranquil depth and quiet magic. A delicate whisper of cool morning air, carrying the faint, clean scent of the awakening desert, stirs the silk curtain at your bedchamber window, signaling the quiet dawn. You feel the subtle shift in light, a soft, pale gold beginning to trace the intricate patterns on your carved cedar ceiling, rousing you gently from the deep, tranquil sleep that's settled after a restful evening. The memory of the hammam's profound warmth and the moonlit gardens is a soft, distant echo as you slowly open your eyes, adjusting to the gentle light of the new day. You stir on the plush mattress, encased in crisp, finely woven Egyptian cotton that yields with a barely perceptible rustle. The silk duvet, cool against your skin, slides down slightly as you stretch, a slow, deliberate movement that eases the night's stillness from your limbs. You notice the delicate weight of the linen against your bare arm, the way it folds and unfolds with your breath, before you push it back, allowing it to pool at the foot of the bed. Your bare feet meet the cool, smooth surface of polished marble that extends from your bedchamber into the connecting passageway. Each step is deliberate, a grounding connection to the solid, ancient stone beneath your soles, its coolness a refreshing contrast to the warmth of your sleep. You move through a series of shaded, arched corridors where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone and a dry, earthy aroma from inner courtyards. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a subtle, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The corridors eventually lead you to a wide, arched doorway, crafted from pale, polished cedar, its surface cool and smooth beneath your fingertips. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible creak that quickly settles into the hushed air. You step across the threshold into your sunlit design studio, feeling an immediate embrace of gentle warmth and a profound sense of quiet purpose. The light within the studio is bright, yet soft, filtering through tall, arched windows that face a serene inner garden, bathing the entire space in a luminous, even glow. The air is still, carrying a distinct, clean scent of freshly cut wood, fine paper, and a faint, sweet tang of linseed oil from drafting tools. You move towards a massive drafting table, crafted from a single, vast slab of pale, unblemished maple wood, its surface cool and impeccably smooth to the touch. On it, several large, rolled scrolls of vellum await your attention, secured with thin, weighted brass rods. You approach the table, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth grain of the maple wood, feeling its solid, unyielding presence. With slow, deliberate movements, you reach for one of the vellum scrolls, its surface subtly textured, cool and dry beneath your fingers. You lift the heavy brass rod, feeling its solid weight, and carefully begin to unroll the vellum across the vast expanse of the maple wood table. A faint, dry rustle, a whisper of anticipation, emanates from the parchment as it slowly unfurls, revealing the intricate, hand-drawn architectural plans beneath. The vellum, a translucent, milky white, is covered with precise, elegant lines of sepia ink, detailing the subtle curves of new arches, the placement of shaded courtyards, and the flow of water features within the estate. Your fingers trace a delicate, almost invisible pencil line, feeling its subtle indentation on the smooth surface, a quiet testament to the architect's meticulous hand. You lean closer, observing the faint, earthy scent of the vellum, mingled with the dry, subtle aroma of old ink as you take in the intricate details. The light catches tiny, shimmering flecks within the vellum, revealing its delicate, fibrous composition. The precise, elegant lines of the architectural plans, a vision of the estate's future, slowly fade from your immediate focus as you gently roll the vellum scroll back into its neat cylinder. The faint, dry rustle of the parchment, a whisper of intricate forms, settles into the quiet air of your sunlit design studio. You lift a heavy brass rod, feeling its cool, solid weight, and place it carefully beside the rolled scroll on the smooth, pale maplewood table. The clean scent of fresh wood and old ink, which had filled the studio, begins to recede as you turn from the table, your bare feet meeting the cool, impeccably smooth maplewood floor. Each step is soft, deliberate, a gentle movement away from the meticulous world of design. The luminous, even light, filtering through the tall, arched windows, bathes the space in a tranquil glow, illuminating the dust motes that dance in the still air. You move through a series of shaded, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone. Your steps are absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runners that stretch along the passages, muffling any sound. The profound quietude of the estate's interior envelops you, allowing the distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, to become a subtle, ever-present hum, a tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The corridors eventually open onto a wide, sun-drenched pathway that winds gently downwards, away from the estate's main structures, leading towards the shimmering edge of the strait. The flagstones beneath your bare feet, large and irregularly shaped, feel pleasantly warm, radiating the morning sun's accumulated heat. The air here is noticeably warmer, carrying a fresh, briny scent of the sea, mingling with a faint, dry aroma from distant desert flora. The sun, now high in the sky, casts sharp, defined shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted shrubs that line the path. As you follow the winding path, the sounds of the estate gradually recede, replaced by the growing, rhythmic presence of the sea. The distant murmur of waves transforms into a clearer, more intimate, as they gently break against the shore. You observe the subtle shifts in the water's color, from a pale turquoise near the shallows to a deeper, more profound sapphire further out, reflecting the brilliant blue of the sky. The path finally leads you to your private jetty, a graceful structure crafted from dark, aged teakwood, its surface weathered to a smooth, silvery gray by sun and salt. The wood, cool and dry beneath your fingertips as you lean against a sturdy mooring post, holds the faint, clean scent of aged timber and salt spray. The jetty stretches out into the clear, calm water, a peaceful extension of the land into the embrace of the strait. Your private yacht, its polished mahogany hull gleaming softly in the morning sun, rests serenely beside the jetty, secured by thick woven ropes that creak with a soft, almost imperceptible groan against the weathered wood. The yacht's brass fittings catch the sunlight, reflecting tiny, brilliant glints that dance on the water's surface. The air around you is still, warm and infused with the clean, invigorating scent of salt water and the faint, sweet tang of polished wood. You step onto the deck of the yacht, feeling the subtle, gentle sway beneath your feet, a soft, almost imperceptible rocking motion that speaks of its connection to the water. The polished mahogany deck, warm and smooth, yields slightly under your bare soles. You move towards the edge, your hand resting on the cool, smooth railing, feeling the subtle vibration of the vessel. The water, clear and cool, makes a soft, rhythmic lap-lap-lap against the yacht's smooth hull, a continuous, soothing whisper that seems to emanate from the very heart of the strait. The soft, rhythmic lap-lap-lap of water against your private yacht's polished mahogany hull, a soothing sound that had been your morning companion, slowly begins to recede as you prepare to leave the tranquil jetty. You feel the subtle, almost imperceptible sway of the vessel beneath your bare feet, a gentle connection to the vast expanse of the strait. The clean, invigorating scent of salt water, mingled with the faint, sweet tang of polished wood, lingers in the air around you. You step from the smooth, warm deck of the yacht onto the weathered teakwood of the jetty, its surface cool and dry beneath your soles. The thick, woven ropes which had secured your vessel creak with a soft, final groan against the mooring posts as you pass. Your steps are unhurried, deliberate, moving away from the shimmering water towards the land. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, grows slightly more diffused, a tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The jetty leads you to a winding, sun-drenched pathway, paved with large, irregularly shaped flagstones that feel pleasantly warm beneath your feet. The air here is noticeably warmer, carrying a fresh, dry scent of sun-baked earth and distant, hardy desert flora. You observe the subtle shifts in the light, the sun now high, casting sharp, defined shadows from the sparse wind-sculpted shrubs that line the path. The pathway gradually transitions into a series of cool, arched corridors, where the light becomes softer, filtered through thick, unadorned stone walls. The profound quietude of the estate's interior envelops you, allowing the faint, briny scent of the sea to slowly recede, replaced by a dry, earthy aroma of old stone and fine, preserved woods. Your bare feet move across the cool, smooth flagstones, each step absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner that stretches along the passage, muffling any sound. You arrive at a heavy, unadorned door, crafted from a single slab of dark, polished rosewood, its surface cool and impeccably smooth beneath your fingertips. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into your private scent laboratory, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere, a profound stillness and a complex layering of deep, woody, and subtly sweet aromas. The light within the laboratory is soft, diffused, emanating from concealed sources that cast a warm, even glow over the meticulously organized space. The air is thick, rich with the concentrated essence of precious woods and rare resins, a profound, grounding perfume that seems to hum with ancient stories. You move towards a long, polished ebony table, its surface cool and glassy, reflecting the soft light like a still, dark pool. Upon it, an array of small, intricately crafted glass vials, each containing a precious oud oil, rests in orderly rows. You approach the table, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth surface of the ebony, feeling its dense, silent solidity. You reach for a particular vial, its glass cool and perfectly smooth, feeling its delicate weight in your hand. The dark, viscous oil within, a deep, amber hue, clings to the inner surface, shimmering subtly in the soft light. With careful precision, you gently twist the stopper, a faint, almost imperceptible pop, echoing in the hushed room as the seal breaks, releasing a concentrated burst of its profound woody aroma. You draw a slender, polished glass rod from a nearby rack, its surface cool and smooth, and dip its tip into the rich, dark oil. A single, perfect droplet clings to the end, catching the light. You touch the droplet gently to a strip of fine, absorbent paper, watching as the oil slowly spreads, creating a dark, fragrant stain. The deep, woody, subtly sweet aroma of oud oil, which had filled your private scent laboratory, slowly begins to recede from your senses as you gently replace the stopper in the glass vial. You feel the cool, smooth glass, a final touch of its precious essence, as the profound quiet of the laboratory settles around you once more, leaving behind only a faint, lingering perfume. You turn from the polished ebony table, its glassy surface reflecting the soft, diffused light, and your bare feet meet the cool, dark wood floor. Each step is a soft whisper as you move towards the heavy, dark rosewood door. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, anticipates your movement, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into a long, shaded corridor, feeling an immediate shift in the air. The air here is immediately cooler, carrying a faint, dry scent of old stone, a refreshing contrast to the concentrated perfumes of the laboratory. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. Your bare feet move across the cool, smooth flagstones, each step absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner that stretches along the passage, muffling any sound. The light is softer here, filtered through high, narrow slits in the stone, casting elongated, shifting patterns of light and shadow on the worn walls. As you walk, the familiar aroma of aged paper and fine leather grows stronger, signaling your approach. The corridor eventually opens onto a grand, double-arched entrance, crafted from dark, seasoned cedar wood, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. You step across the threshold into your maritime library, feeling the familiar solid coolness of the deeply polished, dark wood floor beneath your feet. The light within the library is soft and amber-toned, filtering through tall, leaded glass windows that face an inner, shaded courtyard. The shelves, stretching from floor to vaulted ceiling, are crafted from dark, rich mahogany, their surfaces gleaming with a subtle, reflective luster, holding countless volumes bound in leather and linen. A profound quiet fills the vast space, broken only by the almost imperceptible rustle of your own movements and the distant, rhythmic ticking of a grandfather clock. The air is still, thick with the comforting dry scent of old knowledge, and the faint, earthy tang of distant oceans captured within the pages. You move towards a specific section of shelves where several rare leather-bound tomes have been carefully removed and placed on a low, padded trolley. The trolley, crafted from dark, polished walnut, rests silently on its smooth, felt-lined wheels, its surface covered with a thick, plush square of dark velvet. Beside the books, a small collection of tools awaits. A soft bristled brush, its bristles surprisingly gentle, a fine, tightly woven linen cloth, and a small, delicate brass key. With deliberate slowness, you reach for a volume, its spine a rich, dark green leather, cool and smooth to the touch, adorned with intricate gold tooling. The book is substantial, its weight settling comfortably in your hands. The faint, dry scent of ancient paper and preserved leather rises as you carefully open it, feeling the delicate creak of the binding, the subtle resistance of the aged pages. You observe the faint dust motes that cling to the top edge of the paper, almost invisible in the soft light. You pick up the soft bristled brush, its wooden handle smooth and cool, feeling the delicate give of the natural fibers. With the utmost care, you begin to gently sweep along the top edge of the pages, moving from the spine towards the foredge, dislodging tiny, almost invisible motes of dust. The bristles make a faint, whispering sound against the paper, a soft, repetitive rhythm that is profoundly calming. The faint, dry whisper of the rare book's pages, now meticulously brushed and returned to its trolley, slowly recedes as you gently close the heavy, leather-bound volume. The profound quiet of the maritime library settles around you once more, leaving behind only the comforting scent of aged paper and polished mahogany. You feel the cool, smooth leather of the book cover, a final, tactile memory of its ancient stories. You turn from the polished walnut trolley, your bare feet meeting the cool, dark wood floor of the library. Each step is soft, almost silent, absorbed by the resilient timber, a gentle movement away from the world of scholarly preservation. The amber-toned light, filtering through the tall, leaded glass windows, continues to cast its tranquil glow, illuminating the intricate patterns of the Persian rugs on the floor. You move through a series of shaded, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone. Your steps are absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runners that stretch along the passages, muffling any sound. The distant muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The light here is soft, diffused, a welcome respite from the brighter outdoor sun. The corridors eventually open onto a wide, sun-drenched pathway, paved with large, irregularly shaped flagstones that feel pleasantly warm beneath your feet. The air here is noticeably warmer, carrying a fresh, clean scent of sun-baked stone, mingled with a faint, sweet aroma of blooming jasmine from the terraced gardens. The sun, now high in the sky, casts sharp, defined shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted shrubs that line the path. As you follow the winding path, the sounds of the estate gradually recede, replaced by the growing, rhythmic presence of water. The distant murmur of waves transforms into a clearer, more intimate, as they gently break against the shore, blending with the nearer, soft plish-plish of the infinity pool. You observe the subtle shifts in the water's color, from a pale turquoise near the shallows to a deeper, more profound sapphire further out, reflecting the brilliant blue of the sky. The path leads you directly to your shaded poolside pavilion, a structure of graceful arches and slender columns crafted from pale, polished teakwood. Its open sides are draped with sheer, undyed linen curtains that billow gently inwards, inviting the cool, refreshing breeze. The wood of the pavilion, sun-bleached and smooth, holds the faint, clean scent of salt and aged timber. You step into the cool, inviting shade, feeling the immediate relief from the sun's direct warmth. The soft, billowy linen brushes lightly against your bare arms as you pass, a whisper of fine fabric. Inside, a low, wide divan, piled high with plush cushions covered in soft, cream-colored cotton, occupies the central space. The cotton is cool and smooth to the touch, yielding gently as you settle onto the divan, its generous fill conforming to your form. Your gaze drifts outwards, beyond the swaying curtains, to the vast, shimmering expanse of the infinity pool, its surface a flawless, sapphire mirror. The rhythmic overflow of the pool, a continuous, soft, shushing sound, is a profound and calming presence. A quiet attendant, a fleeting presence, places a delicate frosted glass bowl before you, on a low, polished cedarwood table. Within the bowl, a vibrant, pale green sorbet shimmers, its surface catching the light with tiny, crystalline glints. A small, ornate silver spoon, its handle cool and smooth, rests beside it. The sorbet emanates a faint, sweet citrusy aroma, a promise of cool refreshment. You reach for the spoon, feeling the cool, polished silver against your fingertips. Its delicate weight is perfectly balanced. The delicate, sweet whisper of mint and tangy lime, a refreshing memory on your palate from the cooling sorbet, slowly fades as you set the ornate silver spoon back into the frosted glass bowl. You feel the lingering coolness in your mouth, a pleasant contrast to the warmth of the afternoon sun. The soft shushings of the infinity pool, a constant soothing sound, continues its rhythmic presence from the shaded poolside pavilion. You slowly rise from the soft, cream-colored cushions of the divan, the finely woven linen yielding with a gentle sigh as your weight lifts. Your bare feet meet the smooth, sun-warmed teakwood floor of the pavilion, each step quiet and deliberate, a gentle movement away from the tranquil water. The sheer linen curtains, still swaying with the gentle breeze, brush softly against your arm, a whisper of fine fabric as you pass. You move through a series of shaded, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone. Your steps are absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runners that stretch along the passages, muffling any sound. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The light here is soft, diffused, a welcome respite from the brighter outdoor sun. As you walk, the air begins to take on a dry, precise quality, mingled with a faint, almost metallic tang, and a subtle, rich aroma of aged wood. The corridor eventually opens onto a grand, recessed archway, crafted from dark, seasoned cedarwood, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into your private horological chamber, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere, a profound stillness and a sense of meticulous order. The light within the chamber is soft, diffused, emanating from concealed sources that cast a warm, even glow over the meticulously organized space. The air is cool and dry, precisely regulated, carrying a faint, clean scent of polished brass, fine oils, and aged wood, a profound, grounding perfume that speaks of intricate mechanics and the slow passage of time. You move towards a long, polished walnut workbench, its surface cool and smooth, reflecting the soft light like a still, dark pool. Upon it, an array of delicate tools, each crafted with precision, rests in orderly rows, tiny brass tweezers, soft bristled brushes, and small specialized oilers. You approach the workbench, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth grain of the walnut, feeling its dense, silent solidity. On a plush velvet pad, a selection of your most cherished timepieces awaits, each a masterpiece of engineering and artistry. You reach for a pocket watch, its heavy, polished silver case cool and smooth beneath your fingertips, bearing the faint, dry scent of old metal. You turn it gently in your hand, feeling its familiar, reassuring weight, observing the subtle, intricate engraving on its back. With careful precision, you gently press the small, delicate latch, hearing a faint, almost imperceptible click as the case springs open. The pristine white enamel dial, with its fine hand-painted Roman numerals, gleams softly in the diffused light. The slender, blued steel hands rest motionless, awaiting their precise adjustment. You notice a tiny, almost invisible speck of dust on the crystal, a fleeting imperfection. You pick up a fine, soft-bristled brush, its wooden handle smooth and cool, feeling the delicate give of the natural fibers. With the utmost care, you gently sweep the brush across the crystal, making a faint, whispering sh-sh-sh-sh sound as the bristles glide over the smooth glass, dislodging the tiny speck. The dust disappears, leaving the surface perfectly clear. The cool, precise air of the horological chamber, still carrying the faint scent of polished brass and fine oils, begins to gently recede as you turn from the workbench. You feel the subtle, comforting weight of the newly wound pocket watch, now resting securely in its velvet-lined drawer, a quiet testament to its enduring precision. The profound stillness of the chamber, punctuated by the faint, steady ticking of the restored timepiece, slowly settles around you once more. You step from the quiet precision of the chamber, your bare feet meeting the cool, dark wood floor, each step soft and deliberate. The rhythmic ticking, a memory on the air, fades into the deeper quiet of the estate. You move through a series of shaded, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone. The thick, hand-woven runners beneath your feet absorb any sound, muffling your passage, creating a profound sense of quietude. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop. The corridor eventually opens onto a serene, private sitting area, bathed in a softer, dappled light. The air here is subtly warmer, carrying a faint, dry aroma of aged cedar and a hint of blooming jasmine from a nearby courtyard garden. The thick walls around you absorb the outside world, yet a gentle, unseen breeze stirs the air, carrying these delicate scents. Your gaze is drawn to the tall, intricate mashrabiyah screens that line one side of the room, crafted from dark, finely carved teak wood. Their geometric patterns, a complex interplay of interlocking wooden pieces, create a delicate barrier, allowing glimpses of the courtyard beyond while maintaining complete privacy. You approach one of the screens, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth, yet subtly textured surface of the carved wood, feeling the intricate precision of its countless tiny elements. The wood holds a faint, dry scent of seasoned timber, a quiet, earthy aroma that speaks of skilled hands and patient craftsmanship. You pause, allowing your eyes to adjust to the subdued light that filters through the screen. The afternoon sun, though bright and warm outside, is broken into 1,000 tiny shimmering fragments as it passes through the intricate latticework. These fragments form a mesmerizing, ever-shifting pattern of light and shadow on the cool, polished marble floor of the sitting area. Each tiny dot of light, each slender line of shadow, moves with an almost imperceptible slowness, crawling across the pristine white marble like a celestial map unfolding in miniature. You watch as a single sliver of light elongates, then contracts, tracing a silent, ephemeral path, mirroring the slow passage of time itself. A faint, soft rustle of leaves, carried on a gentle, unseen breeze, drifts in from beyond the screen, a whisper from the hidden garden, a subtle sound that deepens the profound quietude of the room. You lean closer, observing the subtle variations in the grain of the teakwood, the way each carved element catches and softens the light, creating a three-dimensional depth to the flat surface. The intricate patterns, designed for both beauty and function, invite a deep, unhurried contemplation, a quiet immersion in the interplay of light and form. The cool, smooth marble beneath the shifting patterns of light and the subtle, earthy scent of carved wood create a profound sense of quiet observation. You breathe deeply, slowly, allowing the rhythmic play of light and shadow to settle your senses, a tranquil preparation for the evening's unfolding. The subtle rustle of leaves, a whisper from the hidden garden beyond the mashrabiyah screens, slowly fades into the tranquil afternoon. You feel the cool, smooth, subtly textured teakwood beneath your fingertips, a final connection to the intricate patterns of light and shadow that dance on the polished marble floor. The profound quietude of the sitting area settles around you, leaving behind only the faint, dry scent of seasoned timber. You turn from the screens, your bare feet meeting the cool, pristine marble floor, each step soft and deliberate. The shifting patterns of light, once mesmerizing, now become a gentle memory as you move away from the dappled sunlight. You walk through a series of shaded, arched corridors where the air grows progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone. The thick, hand-woven runners beneath your feet absorb any sound, muffling your passage, creating a profound sense of quietude. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop. As you walk, the air begins to take on a dry, earthy quality, mingled with a faint, almost metallic tang, and a subtle, rich aroma of aged leather. The corridor eventually opens onto a grand, recessed archway, crafted from dark, seasoned cedar wood, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into your private numismatic chamber, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere, a profound stillness, and a sense of meticulous order. The light within the chamber is soft, diffused, emanating from concealed sources that cast a warm, even glow over the meticulously organized space. The air is cool and dry, precisely regulated, carrying a faint, clean scent of aged metal, fine leather, and polished wood, a profound, grounding perfume that speaks of ancient commerce and the slow passage of time. You move towards a long, polished ebony table, its surface cool and glassy, reflecting the soft light like a still, dark pool. Upon it, an array of velvet-lined wooden trays rests in orderly rows, each filled with a shimmering collection of ancient coins. You approach the table, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth surface of the ebony, feeling its dense, silent solidity. You reach for one of the trays, its dark, polished cedar frame cool and subtly textured. You lift it gently, feeling its familiar, reassuring weight, and place it carefully on a small, dedicated section of the table, covered with a thick, plush square of dark, unblemished velvet. The velvet cushions the tray, absorbing any sound, creating a pristine, unblemished space for the delicate work ahead. Within the tray, a collection of ancient coins gleams softly, their surfaces a muted spectrum of bronze, silver, and gold. Each coin is unique, bearing the subtle patina of centuries, the faint, dry scent of old metal rising gently from the collection. You select a single coin, its surface a dull, oxidized bronze, feeling its cool, surprisingly heavy weight between your thumb and forefinger. The edges are worn smooth by countless hands, yet the faint impression of an emperor's profile in a forgotten script are still discernible. You pick up a small, fine bristled brush, its wooden handle smooth and cool, feeling the delicate give of the natural fibers. With the utmost care, you begin to gently sweep the brush across the coin's surface, making a faint, whispering sound as the bristles glide over the ancient metal, dislodging tiny, almost invisible motes of dust and centuries of subtle accretion. You feel the subtle texture of the metal beneath the brush, the delicate give of the ancient material as the dust gently lifts and disperses into the still air. The faint, steady ticking of the newly wound timepiece, a subtle rhythm in the cool, precise air of the numismatic chamber, slowly begins to recede from your senses. You feel the cool, smooth metal of the ancient coin, now meticulously brushed and returned to its velvet-lined compartment, a final, tactile memory of its quiet history. The profound stillness of the chamber settles around you once more, leaving behind only the comforting scent of aged metal and polished ebony. You turn from the polished ebony table, its glassy surface reflecting the soft, diffused light, and your bare feet meet the cool, dark wood floor. Each step is a soft whisper as you move towards the heavy, dark cedar door. An attendant, a silent, graceful presence, anticipates your movement, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into a long, shaded corridor, feeling an immediate shift in the air. The air here is immediately cooler, carrying a faint dry scent of old stone, a refreshing contrast to the concentrated aromas of the chamber. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. Your bare feet move across the cool, smooth flagstones, each step absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner that stretches along the passage, muffling any sound. The light is softer here, filtered through high, narrow slits in the stone, casting elongated, shifting patterns of light and shadow on the worn walls. As you walk, the corridor gradually begins a gentle, almost imperceptible descent, leading you steadily downwards, away from the more formal interiors of the estate. The air grows subtly warmer, and a new, distinct set of aromas begins to reach you, carried on the air. A complex blend of dry earth, sun-baked stone, and a faint, sweet hint of ripening fruit. The light outside the narrow slits of the corridor begins to soften, deepening into the rich, golden hues of late afternoon, signaling the slow approach of evening. The corridor eventually opens onto a wide, curving pathway, paved with large, irregularly shaped flagstones that feel pleasantly warm beneath your bare feet. The air here is noticeably fresher, carrying the faint, briny scent of the sea, now mingled with the dry, earthy aroma of the desert landscape. The sun, lower in the sky, casts long, stretching shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted shrubs that dot the land, their leaves a muted, silvery green. As you follow the winding path, the sounds of the estate gradually recede, replaced by the growing, rhythmic presence of the sea. The distant murmur of waves transforms into a clearer, more intimate, as they gently break against the distant shore. You observe the subtle shifts in the water's color, from a pale turquoise near the shallows to a deeper, more profound sapphire further out, reflecting the softening light of the evening sky. The pathway leads you directly into your extensive date palm grove, a serene oasis where hundreds of tall, slender date palms stand in majestic, orderly rows, their rough, textured trunks rising towards the deepening sky. The air within the grove is immediately cooler, shaded by the dense canopy of fronds overhead, and infused with a rich, sweet, earthy aroma of ripe dates and damp soil, a profound and ancient perfume. You step onto the soft, cool earth beneath the palms, feeling its slightly yielding texture, a grounding contrast to the harder flagstones. The ground here is covered with a fine layer of dry, fallen palm fronds, which rustle with a delicate, almost imperceptible crisp sound beneath your bare feet with each step you take. You reach out, your fingers tracing the rough, fibrous bark of a nearby date palm, feeling its dry, cool texture, a silent testament to its centuries of growth. The soft, rhythmic swish, swish, swish of the date palm fronds, a deep, comforting lullaby of the evening, slowly begins to recede from your senses as you turn from the cool, earthy ground of the grove. You feel the lingering, sweet scent of dates and damp soil, a final fragrant memory of the tranquil oasis. The gentle evening breeze, a cool, soft breath, whispers a farewell as you step away. You move with unhurried steps from the shaded date palm grove onto a winding pathway, paved with large, irregularly shaped flagstones that still hold a faint warmth from the day's sun. Your bare feet meet the smooth, worn surfaces, each step quiet and deliberate, moving away from the rustling fronds. The air here is drier, carrying the faint, briny scent of the distant Strait of Hormuz, mingled with the dry, earthy aroma of the desert landscape. The light, now softened to a deep twilight, casts long, stretching shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted shrubs that line the path. The pathway gradually leads you into a series of enclosed, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, radiating a profound stillness. Your steps are absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runners that stretch along the passages, muffling any sound. The distant murmur of the strait, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a subtle, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The light here is dim, cast by concealed, flickering oil lamps set into niches, creating soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract on the worn stone walls. As you walk, the air begins to take on a delicate, almost ethereal quality, mingled with a subtle, sweet perfume, a hint of rosewater, of fine linen, and the profound, clean scent of polished wood. The corridor eventually opens onto a grand recessed archway, crafted from dark, polished mahogany, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into your private dressing room, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere, a profound stillness and a sense of exquisite order. The light within the dressing room is soft, diffused, emanating from concealed sources that cast a warm, even glow over the meticulously organized space. The air is cool and dry, precisely regulated, carrying a faint, clean scent of fine textiles, polished cedar, and a subtle, sweet undertone of dried rose petals. A profound, grounding perfume that speaks of luxury and meticulous care. You move towards a long, polished walnut cabinet, its surface cool and smooth, reflecting the soft light like a still, dark pool. Upon it, several shallow, velvet-lined drawers rest, each holding a carefully arranged collection of silk fabrics. You approach the cabinet, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth grain of the walnut, feeling its dense, silent solidity. You reach for one of the drawers, its brass handle cool and smooth beneath your fingers. With a gentle, deliberate motion, you slide the drawer open, hearing a soft, almost imperceptible whoosh as it glides silently on its runners. Inside, a bed of fine, cream-colored silk cushions the contents, a shimmering array of silk fabrics, each folded with exquisite precision. You reach for a bolt of silk, its surface a deep, lustrous indigo, feeling its impossibly smooth, cool, and delicate texture between your thumb and forefinger. The fabric is light, almost weightless, yet possesses a surprising strength. As you slowly unfold a section, it makes a faint, ethereal whisper, a soft, dry rustle that is barely audible in the hushed room, a sound like a breath. You observe the way the light catches the silk, creating a shimmering, almost liquid effect, the color shifting subtly from deep blue to a rich, luminous purple with each slight movement. The delicate, ethereal whisper of silk, a memory of soft folds and gentle textures, slowly fades from your fingertips as you gently close the polished walnut drawer in your private dressing room. The subtle, sweet perfume of fine textiles and dried rose petals which had filled the air begins to recede, leaving behind a profound sense of quietude. You feel the cool, smooth wood of the drawer, a final, tactile memory of its exquisite contents. You turn from the dark, polished cabinet, your bare feet meeting the cool, dark wood floor, each step a soft whisper in the hushed space. You move through a series of long, shadowed corridors, the air growing progressively cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone. The thick, hand-woven runners beneath your feet absorb any sound, muffling your passage, creating a profound sense of stillness. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a subtle, tranquil backdrop. The corridors eventually lead you to a softly lit, spiraling staircase, its steps crafted from dark, aged cedar. The wood of the banister, smooth and cool beneath your fingertips, bears the faint, rich scent of beeswax and centuries of careful polishing as you begin your ascent. Each step is solid, without creak or complaint, cushioned by the thick, hand-knotted wool runner that muffles any sound, ensuring a silent, unhurried progression upwards. The ascent is gradual, a tranquil journey, away from the main chambers of the estate, towards a higher, more secluded vantage point. The air grows subtly cooler, lighter, as you near the apex, and a soft, diffused light begins to filter down from above, a promise of the unique atmosphere awaiting you. The sounds of the estate, already muted, fade further, replaced by a profound sense of quietude and anticipation. You reach the top, stepping into the circular chamber of your private observatory. The space is cool and hushed, a sanctuary of contemplation, bathed in a soft, indirect light emanating from concealed lanterns. The dome itself, crafted from segments of polished bronze and intricate, clear glass panes, now reveals the deep, inky blackness of the night sky, studded with countless, shimmering stars. The air within holds a faint, clean scent of polished metal and aged wood, a quiet testament to the dome's ancient purpose. Your gaze is drawn immediately to the central table, a large, circular slab of dark, polished basalt, its surface cool and impeccably smooth. Upon it, a venerable star chart lies unrolled, secured at its edges by small, weighty brass cylinders that prevent any movement. The chart, a large piece of thick, aged parchment, is a soft, faded cream, covered with intricate, hand-drawn lines, delicate constellations, and tiny, elegant script marking celestial bodies and ancient pathways across the heavens. The faintest, dry scent of old paper, and the subtle, metallic tang of the brass cylinders, rises gently into the still air. You approach the table, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth surface of the basalt, feeling its dense, silent solidity. With deliberate slowness you reach out, your finger hovering, then gently tracing the faint, raised texture of a particular constellation on the parchment. Your finger glides over the dry, slightly fibrous surface of the paper, feeling the subtle indentation of the faded ink. The parchment makes a faint, dry whispers as your finger moves, a soft, almost imperceptible sound in the profound quietude of the chamber. You observe the meticulous detail of the ancient drawings, the elegant curves of the celestial figures, their delicate lines a testament to long-lost astronomers. You pause, allowing your gaze to drift across the vastness of the celestial map, a silent echo of the boundless night sky beyond the dome. The soft, even light from the concealed lanterns illuminates the intricate patterns, revealing new details with each unhurried glance. The cool, smooth basalt of the table, still holding the faint impression of the ancient star chart, slowly releases its deep quietude as you gently push back from its surface. The intricate celestial map, a silent echo of the boundless night sky beyond the dome, fades from your immediate focus, leaving behind only the profound stillness of your personal observatory. You turn from the large, dark table, your bare feet meeting the cool, dark wood floor of the observatory, each step soft and deliberate. The faint, clean scent of polished metal and aged wood, which had filled the chamber, begins to recede as you move towards the spiraling staircase. The deep, inky blackness of the night sky, studded with countless shimmering stars, remains a silent, majestic presence beyond the clear glass panes of the dome. You begin your descent down the spiraling staircase, your hand tracing the cool, smooth surface of the polished cedar banister, feeling the faint, rich scent of beeswax. Each step on the thick, hand-knotted wool runner is soft, absorbing sound, a quiet, unhurried progression downwards. The light grows subtly dimmer with each turn, transitioning from the observatory's soft glow to the deeper twilight of the estate's interior, a gentle movement away from the celestial and towards the earthly. The stairwell leads you into a long, arched corridor, its walls of pale, unadorned stone, radiating a profound coolness. Your bare feet move across the cool, smooth flagstones, each step absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runner that stretches along the passage, muffling any sound. The distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a constant, tranquil backdrop. The light here is dim, cast by concealed, flickering oil lamps set into niches, creating soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract on the worn stone walls. The air carries a faint, clean scent of old stone, mingled with a dry, earthy aroma from inner courtyards. As you walk, the air begins to shift, growing subtly warmer, and a new, distinct set of aromas begins to reach you, carried on the air, a complex blend of fresh green, earthy dampness, and a myriad of pungent, sweet, and peppery notes. The corridor eventually opens onto a wide, arched entrance, crafted from pale weathered teakwood, its surface cool and smooth beneath your fingertips. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible creak that quickly settles into the hushed air. You step across the threshold into your private herb garden, feeling an immediate embrace of cool, damp air on your skin. The light here is soft, diffused, the last golden hues of the setting sun filtering through a high, intricate trellis draped with climbing vines, casting a gentle, dappled glow over the verdant space. The air is thick with the vibrant, layered aromas of countless herbs, the sharp, clean scent of mint, the earthy sweetness of basil, the subtle spice of thyme, and the delicate perfume of rosemary. Your bare feet meet the soft, cool earth of the garden path, a gentle, yielding texture that grounds you in the living earth. Along the path, water trickles gently from unseen sources, creating a continuous, soft murmur that blends with the distant, muted sound of the strait, a profound and soothing presence. You observe the tiny droplets clinging to the edges of the herb leaves, catching the last of the fading light like miniature, shimmering pearls. You pause beside a low, raised bed, filled with robust green basil plants. The broad, velvety leaves, still cool and damp with evening dew, gleam softly in the diffused light. A gardener, moving with quiet, practiced efficiency, is carefully plucking the largest, most fragrant leaves, placing them gently into a small, intricately woven basket crafted from dried palm fronds. The vibrant, layered aromas of basil and mint, a memory of freshness and vitality from the herb garden, slowly recede as you turn from the low, raised bed. The soft snip of the gardener's shears, a delicate sound of careful harvest, fades behind you as you step away from the cool, damp earth. The profound quietude of the garden, punctuated by the gentle murmur of unseen water, begins to settle around you once more. You move with unhurried steps from the herb garden onto a winding pathway, paved with large, irregularly shaped flagstones that still hold a faint warmth from the day's sun. Your bare feet meet the smooth, worn surfaces, each step quiet and deliberate, moving away from the verdant embrace. The air here is drier, carrying the faint, briny scent of the distant Strait of Hormuz, mingled with the dry, earthy aroma of the desert landscape. The light, now softened to a deep twilight, casts long, stretching shadows from the sparse, wind-sculpted shrubs that line the path. The pathway gradually leads you into a series of enclosed, arched corridors, where the air grows progressively cooler, radiating a profound stillness. Your steps are absorbed by the thick, hand-woven runners that stretch along the passages, muffling any sound. The distant murmur of the strait, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a subtle, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The light here is dim, cast by concealed, flickering oil lamps set into niches, creating soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract on the worn stone walls. As you walk, the air begins to take on a delicate, almost ethereal quality, mingled with a subtle, sweet perfume, a hint of rosewater, of fine linen, and the profound, clean scent of polished wood. The corridor eventually opens onto a grand, recessed archway, crafted from dark, polished mahogany, its surface gleaming with a deep, reflective luster. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible sigh of ancient hinges. You step across the threshold into the serene, open-air central courtyard, feeling an immediate embrace of cool, fresh evening air. The light within the courtyard is soft and ethereal, the deep indigo sky above still holding a faint, lingering blush of crimson from the recently set sun. The air is cool and dry, carrying a delicate blend of night-blooming jasmine from the surrounding trellises and the clean, earthy scent of damp mosaic tiles. Your bare feet meet the cool, smooth surface of the intricate mosaic floor, each tiny tessera cool and subtly textured underfoot, reflecting the soft, ambient light in muted blues and greens. Your gaze is drawn to the central fountain, a magnificent structure carved from pristine white marble, its surface gleaming softly in the twilight. Water flows continuously from an ornate, sculpted spout, creating a mesmerizing, tranquil display. You approach the edge of the fountain, your fingers tracing the cool, smooth surface of the marble basin, feeling its solid, unyielding presence. The water within is clear and still, reflecting the deepening sky like a dark, polished mirror. A soft, consistent gurgle emanates from the ornate spout as the water pours forth, a continuous, gentle stream that shimmers in the fading light. It falls into the basin below with a delicate, rhythmic no-plish-plish-plish, a constant soothing sound that fills the quiet courtyard. Each tiny splash creates a fleeting, iridescent bubble that bursts silently on the surface, disappearing as quickly as it forms. The sound is hypnotic, a natural melody that blends seamlessly with the distant, muted sigh of the Strait of Hormuz, creating a profound sense of peace. You lean closer, observing the subtle movement of the water, the way it catches the ambient light, creating tiny, dancing glints on its surface. The rhythmic plish-plish-plish of the central fountain, a constant soothing sound in the cool evening air, slowly begins to recede from your senses. As you turn from its marble basin, you feel the lingering, delicate perfume of night-blooming jasmine, a final, fragrant memory of the tranquil courtyard. Your bare feet meet the cool, smooth mosaic tiles of the floor, each tiny tessera cool and subtly textured underfoot, reflecting the soft, ambient light in muted blues and greens. You move with unhurried steps from the serene courtyard into a long, arched corridor, its walls of pale, unadorned stone radiating a profound coolness. Your steps are soft, almost silent, absorbed by the thick hand-woven runners that stretch along the passage, muffling any sound. The distant murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, filters through the estate's thick walls, a subtle, tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The light here is dim, cast by concealed, flickering oil lamps set into niches, creating soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract on the worn stone walls. The air carries a faint, clean scent of old stone, mingled with a dry, earthy aroma from inner courtyards. As you walk, the air begins to take on a delicate, almost ethereal quality, mingled with a subtle, sweet perfume, a hint of calming herbs, of warm steam, and the profound, clean scent of polished wood. The corridor eventually opens onto a grand, recessed archway, crafted from light, polished cedar, its surface gleaming with a soft, reflective luster. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible hush as it swings inward. You step across the threshold into your private wellness suite, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere, a profound stillness, and a sense of profound calm. The light within the suite is soft, diffused, emanating from concealed sources that cast a warm, even glow over the meticulously organized space. The air is cool and dry, precisely regulated, carrying a faint, clean scent of pure water, aromatic herbs and polished stone, a profound, grounding perfume that speaks of tranquility and meticulous care. You move towards a low, circular table, crafted from a single slab of pale, polished limestone, its surface cool and smooth, reflecting the soft light like a still, serene pool. Upon it, a collection of small, intricately carved wooden boxes rests in orderly rows, each containing dried herbs and flowers, their delicate scents subtly mingling. You approach the table, your fingertips tracing the cool, smooth grain of the limestone, feeling its dense, silent solidity. You reach for one of the boxes, its lid, crafted from a lighter, fragrant cedarwood, feeling its delicate weight. A soft, almost imperceptible click echoes in the hushed room as you lift the lid, revealing a bed of dried chamomile blossoms their small, delicate heads a muted yellow. Nestled on a bed of fine, cream-colored silk, you gently scoop a small handful of the dried blossoms, feeling their brittle, papery texture, the subtle crinkle sound almost absorbed by the quiet air. A sweet, earthy, profoundly calming aroma rises, filling your senses, a promise of tranquil repose. You then select a few delicate sprigs of dried lavender, their slender stems cool and slightly rough, the tiny purple buds releasing a faint, floral, peppery scent. As you gently brush them against your palm, you place the chosen herbs into a small, elegant porcelain teapot, its surface cool and smooth to the touch. The dried leaves make a soft, dry rustle as they settle into the delicate vessel. An attendant, moving like a shadow, places a small, ornate silver kettle on a nearby low burner, its polished surface gleaming in the soft light. A faint, soft hiss begins to emanate from the kettle as the water slowly heats, a gentle, rising sound that promises warmth and comfort. The subtle warmth of the chamomile and lavender infusion, a comforting presence on your tongue, slowly fades as you place the delicate porcelain cup back onto its silver tray. You feel the lingering sweet essence of the herbs, a final, fragrant memory of the tranquil ritual. The profound stillness of your private wellness suite settles around you once more, leaving behind only the gentle promise of deep rest. You rise from the soft cushion, feeling its gentle sigh as your weight lifts. Your bare feet meet the cool, polished limestone of the low, circular table, a final, smooth touch of its serene surface. The light within the suite, soft and diffused, remains a warm, even glow, illuminating the meticulously organized boxes of dried herbs, now quietly closed. You move with unhurried steps from the quietude of the wellness suite, passing through the wide, arched entrance. The air here is immediately cooler, carrying a faint, clean scent of old stone, a refreshing contrast to the suite's infused warmth. Your bare feet meet the cool, smooth flagstones of the long, arched corridor, each step soft and deliberate. The profound quietude of the estate's interior envelops you, allowing the distant, muted murmur of the Strait of Hormuz, a deep, ancient sigh, to become a subtle, ever-present hum, a tranquil backdrop to your quiet progress. The light here is dim, cast by concealed, flickering oil lamps set into niches, creating soft, dancing shadows that stretch and contract on the worn stone walls. The corridor eventually leads you to the heavy cedar door of your bedchamber, its surface cool and smooth beneath your fingertips. A silent attendant, a fleeting presence, anticipates your arrival, gently pushing the door inwards with a barely audible hush as it swings inward, revealing the profound quietude within. You step across the threshold, feeling an immediate, distinct shift in the atmosphere, a deep stillness, and a sense of profound, welcoming calm. The light within your bedchamber is soft and deeply subdued, emanating from concealed sources that cast a warm, even glow over the vast space. The air is cool and fresh, precisely regulated, carrying a faint, clean scent of crisp linen and a subtle, dry aroma of aged cedar, a profound, grounding perfume that speaks of comfort and deep repose. Your gaze drifts across the room, settling on the vast, plush bed, its crisp Egyptian cotton sheets turned back, inviting you into their cool embrace. The silk duvet, impossibly light and soft, is folded at the foot, a promise of warmth for the deeper hours of the night. You approach the bed slowly, your bare feet meeting the cool, smooth surface of the polished marble floor, the same marble you walked across this morning. Each step is deliberate, a grounding connection to the solid stone, its coolness a refreshing touch. You reach out, your fingers tracing the fine, delicate weave of the crisp topsheet, feeling its cool, smooth texture against your fingertips. The linen is perfectly smooth, unblemished, a pristine invitation. You slide beneath the cool sheets, feeling the fine weave against your skin, a delicate, almost imperceptible friction that is profoundly soothing. The cool cotton gently embraces your limbs, a soft, comforting weight. You settle deeper into the plush mattress, your body sinking gently into its yielding softness, finding its perfect contour. The cool, smooth pillow cradles your head, its embroidered silk, a soft, delicate texture against your cheek, providing a gentle support. You adjust your position slightly, a subtle movement that eases any lingering tension, allowing your muscles to soften completely. You breathe deeply, slowly, allowing the subtle briny scent of the night air, carried through the open terrace doors, to fill your lungs. It is a clean, refreshing aroma, a gentle whisper from the vast expanse of the strait. The rhythmic shout of the distant waves, a constant, ancient voice, continues its gentle cadence, now a familiar lullaby against the profound quiet of your bedchamber. You feel the cool, crisp linen against your skin, a delicate embrace, as you settle deeper into the yielding softness of your plush mattress. The soft, embroidered silk of the pillow cradles your head, its smooth texture, a comforting presence against your cheek, absorbing any lingering warmth. Beyond the open terrace doors, where the cool night air drifts in with its faint, briny scent, a deeper, more subtle sound begins to emerge from the heart of your vast estate. It is a low, continuous thrum, almost imperceptible, a gentle vibration that hums softly beneath the profound silence of the night, a quiet reassurance of the estate's enduring presence. This deep, steady pulse is the distant desalination plant, tirelessly working, a constant, low drone that blends seamlessly with the natural sounds of the night, a mechanical heartbeat of comfort and self-sufficiency. You shift slightly, a slow, deliberate movement, feeling the gentle weight of the silk duvet as it conforms to your form. The fine, cool threads of the Egyptian cotton sheets brush lightly against your bare arm, a delicate friction that is profoundly soothing. You trace an invisible pattern on the sheet with your fingertip, feeling the subtle weave of the fabric, the faint, almost imperceptible texture beneath your touch. The air in the room is perfectly cool, a refreshing stillness that allows for deep, unhurried breaths, carrying only the clean scent of fresh linen and the faint, briny whisper from the strait. Your eyes, heavy and soft, drift across the dimly lit chamber. The light is so subtle, so diffused, that colors are muted, softened into shades of deep shadow and faint, ethereal glow. You notice the intricate patterns on the carved cedar ceiling, now almost entirely lost in the deep twilight, their details softened into indistinct, comforting forms. The distant, rhythmic sigh of the waves, a constant, unchanging presence, seems to draw you deeper into its hypnotic cadence, each ebb and flow pulling you further into repose. A faint, almost imperceptible creak, a soft sigh from ancient timbers settling, drifts from the distant walls of the estate, a familiar sound that speaks of its long history, a quiet breathing of the venerable structure itself. It is a sound so gentle, so integrated into the overall quietude, that it merely enhances the profound sense of peace. You feel the subtle, almost imperceptible vibration of the distant waves travel through the very foundations of the estate. a deep, resonant hum that gently cradles you, a constant, unwavering presence beneath your plush mattress. The coolness of the air on your skin, the soft embrace of the linen, and the deep, low hum of the estate, a symphony of subtle, unchanging sensations, blend together into a continuous, flowing current of profound tranquility. Your breath deepens, slows, becoming almost imperceptible, a gentle wave rising and falling with the rhythm of the distant sea. You feel your body soften further, releasing any lingering tension, a complete surrender to the comfort and quiet that surrounds you. The rhythmic whoosh of the distant waves, now a part of your own slowing pulse, gently guides you into the deepest, most effortless calm.